Hello and welcome to Season 3, Round 2 of Hungary for ALR Bronze. Looking forward to getting ready for a second race in Bronze back in the short season we have. Last week's race was an absolute cracker. We had some brilliant racing on track. Dylan, Ginger Rage, both really good races. Just looking forward to another good race. It's a difficult track. It's very different to Silverstone. It's a lot tighter. As people like to say, it's Monaco without the barriers. Track limits is going to be very difficult round here. So I'm expecting a lot of penalties.
Well, it's a completely different track to last week at Silverstone. It's they call it Monaco without the barriers for a reason. It's a very tight, twisty circuit. It's incredibly difficult to overtake around here. So we saw a lot of good racing last week. So hopefully we're going to have a lot more of the same going into today. Strategy again is a pretty simple one. Kind of a bit different to last week, where the tyre wear around here is
it's the complete opposite.
It's horrendous around here a little bit. You don't really want to touch those soft tyres at all. Usual strategies. Obviously, mediums to hards around here. So Q2's going to be relatively interesting to see if someone does try and go onto the soft hard tyres. I think we saw, was it Jay Wilson last night in silver? Qualified outside the top 10 on hards.
11th on hards. He finished 8th on track.
I think he did about 23 laps on those and then put softs on at the end, and he was like a rocket ship towards the end. So.
And that was with probably a strategy with the safety car early on that probably didn't even help him. That probably weakened his strategy. So even with that, he's still finishing the points. So even if you don't start off near the top of the grid, then it's not over. Strategy can completely change this race, like other tracks. But
yeah, it's definitely something you've got to take into consideration. It's very likely to get a safety car around here. I think we had 3 on gold on Sunday, and I think you had, was it 2 last night? Was it, or was it just the 1? Was it
the 1 safety car?
One full safety car. Yeah. So it's very likely that there is going to be a safety car around here just because of the nature of the circuit.
Yeah, we've got some difficult corners. Like turn 4 is infamously hard, especially when you have more tyre wear later on. It can be very slippery if you take it a little bit too wide. You get an invalidation, or maybe get a penalty. But then if you take it too tight, then you have a chance of spinning into the barrier and cutting the corner as well. So it's you have to get it just right. It's one of those tracks that you have to concentrate the whole time. There's not many times other than the main straight that you can think of what to do. You're on it the whole time, especially I know a lot of people hate the chicane. It's so difficult to get right. But yeah, so...
Well, we've got a dry qualifying, so if someone could go on into the comments and tell me if there's any rain in the race or anything. So I'll just read through some of the comments right now. So Sammy obviously got in there with the first comment, and presumably probably the first like, and Sean's also in there as well. Evening ALR Vintage, nice to speak to you, mate. Bulky Volcano, hello, mate. And hello Serious Mushroom as well. Nice to see you all in the comments there.
Yeah, if we can just get a weather report from someone, that'd be good. We haven't seen rain so far in Gold and Silver. It might be it's one of those tracks you definitely don't want rain, but it'll make it interesting at least than the other 2 races.
Even if there is rain in the race, you won't necessarily have to adjust your setup much.
It's very much downforce focus.
Well, you usually run in a rear or 10 or 11 rear wing most of the time anyway. So you won't have to change setup wise much if you did want. It doesn't compromise you too much. Basically, if you do want to run a dry setup in quali just to get that track position, because it is that important around here, and it's relatively hard to overtake. There we go. Never mind. ALR Vintage, it's forward the party for us. It's all dry.
I'm hoping it's all dry for COBALT tomorrow, because that'll be an absolute nightmare. But
well, it'll be nice to see who kind of starts to emerge as the championship contenders, because we obviously had Crystal Maze last week, who had their qualifying was absolutely amazing from Crystal Maze last week, so let's see if he can carry on with his hot run of form that he had last week. And we definitely did have a lot of hype around Marvsky last week, but he didn't really have a great race. I think he qualified out. Was it out? I think he might have been out in Q1 potentially, or definitely out in Q2.
Silverstone's it's a hard qualifier though because it's so long.
Yeah,
you can mess up easily.
But yeah, he didn't score any points either. I mean, Renault in general didn't have the best of weeks last time out in Silverstone. So hopefully, not trying to be too biased or anything, but we'll have a nice, stronger point scoring week from the Renault boys. So obviously Marvsky's first out on track. And we've also got Crystal Maze just getting their laps in early, get it done, probably retire after their one run in Q1.
Obviously, it was a very good race last week for both Ferrari and Haas, with Crystal Maze and Roscoe just outside the podium points. But yeah, so we had like Crystal Maze, then they had Dylan, Crypticalibi, like so close together the whole race. Crypticalibi just couldn't get past Dylan in the end. We got Marvsky just going to start his first lap of the session. But yeah, so I wonder if we'll see if Crystal Maze will just, leave everyone in the dust, because like we've said, it is like a very different track. So you would think if he did have that pace around here as well, he would run most tracks, because it might just be the fact that he likes Silverstone like a lot of people do. Because Hungary is quite a polarising track. Some people hate it, some people love it. I love it, even though I'm not very quick.
It's a very flowing track, and people kind of compare it to like an old school kind of go-karting. Oh yeah, Marvsky's just gone wide into turn 4 there.
He didn't invalidate though, did he not?
Yeah, I think if you... Oh, that's got a bit of traffic there for me, so he's probably going to back out of this lap and go again, I presume. So there's a ride on board now. Crystal Maze is probably going to complete his lap, as he's just coming up to Marvsky, I think has backed off. Yeah, he's just got out of the way of him then. Hopefully the Red Bull will get out of Crystal Maze's way as well, as obviously he's on his first attempt of a flying run. That was lucky there. I think that was Sir Dave. Yeah, he just got out of his way. Let's see what Crystal Maze can put on the board and see if was he a one-hit wonder last week, or is he really the top dog in ALR Bronze this season. We're about to see he's coming around the last corner now. Let's see what time he can put on the board. He's opening up that DRS now, and he does a 1:14.6. That's a good time. Yeah, I think that's a very good time for us, considering it's only Q1 as well.
I think he might even be safe with that, to be honest.
You want to see, obviously, as Marvsky's just putting a bank lap, he's probably going to do another flying lap now.
He's going to, yes. We think he saved fuel then, or?
Well, I think he just made a mistake, obviously, going into that turn 4. Though he didn't look like he had a very good turn 1. Sir Dave behind him, I think, didn't look like he had a great...
Sammy's just put in a pretty good time for his first run. I think we can't really judge everyone else on Crystal Maze, because he is definitely the fastest. He's the pinnacle so far of bronze.
Yeah, I definitely think we are going to see him probably podium, top 5 definitely at least every week.
Unless something happens.
His injury rate is a 1:17.3, which is probably... He's probably not too happy with that time.
That is appalling.
Give him a break.
No.
As we've got Marvsky now, he's 10th and a bit down, coming into the second sector now, as he's just coming into the third and final sector. Oh no, as he's gone very, very wide there. Marvsky just doesn't look comfortable whatsoever so far on these first 2 laps around the Hungary ring. There's a lot of cars out on track now, setting their times and everything. There's EPL Leclerc, I think, is he stepping in as a reserve today?
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, he's done a 14.6, so that's very close to Crystal Maze's time. So
that's impressive.
Yeah, that's a good time. Is his debut in bronze? I believe.
Yeah,
it is. Yeah. Well, even in ALR. So yeah, hopefully see what he's made of today, and maybe he might.
Maybe just like Leclerc, he is a qualifying master.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. Well, that racing point looked 2 and 3 at the minute. That's good. That's very strong. Sammy's now just starting another lap. Is at the minute Smithy Wright in 4th on a 15.9.
There's some people, I think last week that didn't have very fortunate races, like Theo, Sir Dave Booty and RD Wee, and obviously Marvsky and Smithy as well. I'm kind of hoping we can see a bit more of them, because obviously we saw what the others can do. But yeah, I just kind of want to see what if they have some pace.
Well, at the minute, Booty Delight has invalidated his lap, so I'm presuming he's probably going to go for another flyer now as he's opened up that DRS. Yeah, he's in a 16.2. He obviously did invalidate it, but with that time, he would have just been above Ginger Rage there. So if he can do that lap again, maybe, but without exceeding track limits, which I know is easier said than done around here. But yeah, that wouldn't be an awful time from him there. Yeah, like you said, he didn't have the most amazing race last week. I think he got damaged relatively early on and didn't box and repair that front wing. So yeah, hopefully he can keep that nose out of any damage or anything this week and yeah, have a cleaner race, maybe get some points in for the AlphaTauri team. Who's his teammate is this week? Shadows. So yeah, Shadows up at P4 at the minute. So yeah, if Booty Delight can get up into that top 10 and they could probably start scoring some decent points, that'd be really, really good for the constructors for the AlphaTauri team. As yeah, he's just coming through to the end of the middle sector now. Let's see what time he's done in the middle sector. A 54.2 in the middle sector. Yeah, so he probably wants to do at least probably like a mid 15 to feel relatively safe. There's still a lot of drivers to do.
Ginger Age just went faster than 115.
No, I believe that was Kamara Racer that's just jumped up to P3 there. As we jump back to Booty Delight, he does. Yeah, he's in a 116.1.
Well, yeah, I think Sir David Marski, obviously that's not necessarily their times. I don't think they might have had a bad lap.
Yeah, Marski's out on another outlap here, so he's going to go for another attempt on, I believe, on the same set of tyres. So he's choosing to not burn out a fresh set. He probably feels.
Styles is going to do a first lap as well. He's coming. Oh no, he's just gone wide.
Oh no, that's not the ideal line you want to go around there. He's probably just wanting to get out. He's got a bit of damage there, so he's probably gone into the barrier at some point along the lap.
That's an interesting line coming in.
Yeah, he's doing the Valtteri Bottas of mowing the lawn like he did in Austria last season. As he's going to jump on board with ALR Vintage or Theo as he's just starting his lap now. Theo is. Yep. Both the Mercs are going to be doing their laps back to back, so we'll ride on board with Vintage and then we can jump back to see what time Theo does literally right after Theo finishes his lap.
I think both the Mercedes had a pretty disappointing race last week. I did expect them to be higher up, but you know, it's the first race.
I think Theo had an issue where he couldn't jump in his car at the start, so
yeah,
hopefully he doesn't have any kind of issues like that.
I think I said in the driver draw that Mercedes looked to be quite quick. So, you know, I hope that does change.
We've got Dylan on his outlap at the minute. He's just started his fly lap now. And, Vintage put it in the wall! He's lost his front wing. Luckily, he hasn't lost any.
He's very fortunate not to be fully out.
Yeah, that was a hefty shot into the wall there. Quite surprised he didn't lose a wheel or anything, to be honest.
That's a bit of an odd place to spin there. You don't see that many people.
Well, it's just you just get on that power quite early.
Yeah, he got too much curb there as well.
Yeah, on the exit, and you can just spin up those rear tyres. And I'm not sure what assist or anything he's running, but if he is running no traction or even medium, it is quite easily done, to be honest, because
I think some people might favour a more straight line speed.
Oh, it's Theo's ball. Sorry, it's gone up to P5 on a 15.2. That's a very strong lap from Theo there.
Leclerc's retired, so he's confident. I think that's pretty much safe as well.
Yeah, you would think so. Although you do have a lot of quicker drivers. I mean, Vintage obviously still has time to come into the pits. And he's revving the hell out of that V6 turbo hybrid engine there.
But yeah, look, Ferrari up there again.
Yeah, I think they're definitely going to be favourites, along with probably maybe the Racing Points.
The Haas did well as well.
And the Williams, to be honest. Those are probably the three strongest teams. All of them have got like a solid team there. So as Dylan comes through the last corner now, he's opened up that DRS, goes across the line, and he does a 1:14.8. So yeah, he's only 2 tenths off Crystal Maze there.
3 people in the 1:14s in the minute. Roscoe just outside.
So yeah, these three kind of seem to be in a little battle of their own at the top of the minute. So
I'm interested to see what Cryptic Alibi, because he seems to be at least in race pace, same with Dylan. So let's see what he can do. He's on an outlap at the minute.
Yeah, that is a very good point. I mean, last week we did the qualifying pace. I think Crystal Maze was about 6 or 7 tenths faster than Dylan, but in the race, Crystal Maze really struggled to kind of pull away. Whether or not that was...
He had a bad start, but still managed to keep the gap.
Yeah, I don't know whether that or not he was just harvesting and keeping him there, or was Roscoe just invalidated on the last corner. He wouldn't have been improved anyway, but yeah, that's not ideal. I mean, he is in P4, so he probably should be safe on that lap, but he's probably just getting some practice laps in for Q2 or Q3 maybe.
Still haven't seen a time from Cryptic, Styles, Vintage, and RDW yet.
Cryptic's just starting his lap now. Same with Styles, and Vintage has come back out after fixing that front wing, so that's a good repair job there by the Mercedes team. Yeah, so let's stick on. Well, Sir Dave is just starting his lap as well. He's currently in P16 on a 17.5, so he's definitely done it. Well, he's in the drop zone as we speak. So, yeah, we've got those 4 drivers still to set a time.
We got Scooby, who's going to be a bit worried. I think at the minute he's reserving for tonight, first time in ALR as well. Or I think he might have raced last week. Not sure.
Let's ride on board with. Who's in across the line next? Is it going to be Scooby? Yeah, he's just in across the line now. He is 4 attempts up, to be fair to him. So let's see what time he can do.
I think he didn't improve his time. I think he lost it on the end there. He must have lost all that time.
Yeah, he's still got time to do another run if he does want to box or if he's got enough fuel on board. But he does. Yeah, no, he's given up with this lap. I think he's probably gonna want to recharge those batteries.
So we got Styles coming over the line next, followed by Cryptic.
Let's see what times Styles can do there. He's decided to take a wider line into that last corner to open up the corner, opens up that DRS, crosses the line, and he does. Oh, only P16 is.
What's Cryptic doing?
Cryptic's going to do well. That's a good time.
That's a good time.
15.2. He should be relatively safe on that one. As is that Dave on the last corner there? He's just coming into the last corner now.
Come on, Dave.
Let's see what time Dave can do if he can improve on his time. He can get out of that drop zone. He opens up the DRS now, going up to the Walsall line. He does improve by 8 attempts. He does push himself up to P16, which is pushes Scooby and Styles down a position. As Vintage is now going through the first sector, and he still needs to set a lap time after that spin that he had.
I think Vintage is definitely fast enough to get out of this drop zone at the minute. So Marvsky at the minute is still in the pits, going to do one more lap probably. But Booty, Delight, Jamie, I think they might be a bit worried that RDW and Vintage could do better.
RDW is still in the pits, and I think he did the same thing last week, where he decided to just wait until the very end. And
yeah, I think he was busy, so we might not see RDW come out again. He might be starting last.
Well, hopefully that's not the case every week. I'd like to see RDW. I think he did set a lap last week earlier on, because I remember him going quite high up in the order. As Vintage is coming into the third and final sector now. So I think unless he's got fuel on board, I think this might be his final run.
We've got a McLaren coming over the line. Is that Jamie Wright doing? No, it's Styles.
Styles got up to P14 there, so he's
safe for now.
Yeah, he is safer for the minute, but we have got ALR Vintage who's just about to cross the line. He goes right wide there. He comes up to the line now, and he only goes P17. So I think he's going to have to go again. He definitely doesn't have any time to go into the pits and refuel.
I don't think he'll have enough fuel.
I mean, he's
gone wide there as well.
Yeah, so that could be it for ALR Vintage there, unless he has got the fuel on board or he is going again.
We've got a Red Bull coming through. Is that Sir Dave?
Cryptic Alibi is retired. He's relatively
is that an AlphaTauri? Sorry.
Booty Delight, yeah, he's P15 at the minute, so he is through to Q3.
RDW's retired, so we're not going to see him, unfortunately, do a time today.
As Marvsky again, he's still down in P16, so he's going to have to get out there.
I think he will come out, and that might be I don't think that's going to be good for Booty Delight, because I think Marvsky, he should be going quicker than that.
Well, I mean, you did think this, but we kind of had the same kind of expectations last week, and we didn't see him do qualifying very well last week.
But it's very easy to. It's very easy to mess up your lap.
Sorry, is up on his time going through the first sector.
Okay.
So whether or not he's still got a bit of time on the cards there. So I mean, he isn't too far off. I mean, if he improves by about a tenth or so, it could jump him up to probably about P13, which could push Styles down to P15, right on the cusp there. As he is about, although that's probably going to be it for Styles, he's coming into the pits with just under 3 minutes, to go.
Yeah, he might be able to come out. It's going to be touch and go.
I think unless we do have a bit of a time glitch in the session, then I'm not sure it's going to be touch and go.
Lost the rear end there.
Yeah, he's probably not going to be amazing for his time, but unless he had a really, really good second sector, this could be it for Booty Delight. I mean,
he's jumped up to 11.
Wow. So yeah, it pushes Ginger Rage down. So
no.
Ginger Rage is up by 6 attempts in that second sector though. So as long as he doesn't mess up this third and final sector now, hopefully I haven't jinxed it. So
the Ginger Rage bloodline does like a pink helmet.
Oh, he loves a pink helmet. Shows Ginger Rage as he's coming through the final corner now. Oh, sorry, RDW had a quali ban, that's why he did retire. Ginger Rage goes up to P4. That's a really good time there from Ginger Rage.
Well then. Well, if he's got that time in his locker, I'm expecting driver of the day again.
Well, if we have anything like he did start last week, then as ALR Vintage, he is 2 attempts up going into that third sector. So if he has a good third and final sector, he could push.
It doesn't seem Sir Dave's coming out again, so it looks like he's out.
Yeah, I think
So
that could be
Scooby.
and Scooby. Yeah, so Vintage is going to stick on board with him now, as that Renault just gets out of the way there. So I think Vintage, as long as he doesn't invalidate the exit here, he could be out the drop zone. He's coming up to the line. Yeah, he goes up to P12, which pushes Styles now down as he's in the pit. So that's probably it for Styles.
I think Jamie's the only one that's going to be Marvsky.
Yeah, so Marvsky's just starting his flying lap now as well, so I think it's going to be between these two. So unfortunately, we are going to see Styles, Sir Dave, although he has decided to come out now. Whether or not he,
I don't think he has, unless we've got a.
Yeah, I think we might have a slight desync, but he's going to have to push on this lap to get to the. Yeah, he's even using his ERS, so he's going to burn up those tyres as well on his out lap.
Sammy's just said your time's wrong, 40 seconds apart.
Oh, so he should just have enough time in there. So
hopefully, yeah.
Sir Dave. So he could be the very last one there. So. Push people out. So when they stay on board with Jamie, it's Jamie's 6.5 seconds down. So hopefully he's going to abort this lap, go for another run, as he's probably got the fuel on board. Unless he does come into the pits now, what's he going to do? Yeah, he's staying out. So he's going to go for his his final run here in Q1. As Marvsky's only marginally up there, so he's invalidated.
Oh,
so
no.
Again, unless he has got the fuel on board and the time to get to the line and set another lap, that's Marvsky out of Q1 potentially.
You might see this as a bogey track for him though, and he's just messed up qualifying. But
well, it's just it
did happen to me though. I started 18th last night, started on hards. Obviously, I got fortunate. Some might say early safety car, so I managed to do mediums, but. If you can just run those hards long like Jake Wilson did last night, then it's a good strategy, especially if you're fortunate with safety cars.
Sorry, Sir Dave did get to the start-finish line in time, but he's got a horrible understeer going into turn 1 there. He's headed now down towards turn 2 and 3.
Hopefully he doesn't see traffic coming through on his lap.
Well, Marvsky, he stayed out and he's going to do another lap, so he isn't too close to the back of Marvsky there to hopefully get dirty air as Jamie now. He's 4 temps up, is Jamie, as he's coming into the final part of the circuit now. And yeah, that's 4 temps. As long as he has a good third and final sector now, he's going to push himself up, so Booty Delight will probably jump down a few. Oh, Sir Dave's retired. Sir Dave's crashed. It's just at the end of Sector 1, so that's it for Sir Dave. As Jamie does go up to P12 now, so let's jump back on board with Marvsky, who's only a tenth and a bit up. Oh, sorry, a whole second up now.
Oh, come on.
So that's more like it from Marvsky. He's decided to leave it to the very last minute to show us what he's got. Maybe he's just teasing us a little bit. Oh no, he's run out of fuel, I think.
Oh no!
So,
he's run out of fuel. Oh, what a shame.
Yeah, he's frustrated by that.
He had the pace in the end, but he ran out of fuel.
Marvsky. That's so unlucky there from Marvsky.
Yeah.
He just can't catch a break at the minute.
Mushrooms just said Marvsky's having a mare again. He is. But he's definitely got the race pace to bring it back and get points, so...
Well, I didn't realise how close that was between the top two with Crystal Maze and Leclerc there. That's 4 thousandths of a second. Followed by Dylan.
I think we're going to see a good top 3 battle there.
Definitely. I mean, if Ginger Rage can get in there as well. So, out of qualifying 1, we do have Styles, Marvsky, Sir Dave, who did crash, I think, or might have retired on his final run, as he probably wasn't up through that first sector. Scooby, and we have RDW, who does have a full qualifying ban. So that's unfortunate for those 5 drivers there. So it's relatively hard to overtake around here, so they're in for a tough race unless they want to do an alternative strategy like we did see with Jay Wilson. Was it Wilson? It was, wasn't it?
Yeah, started on the hards.
Yeah, started on the hards last night, and just hope for a safety car, and you can put those softs on towards the end and have that track position. I mean, it's impossible to overtake around here unless you do have that tyre advantage, really.
Now, strategy-wise in Q2, if it's going to be a very high risk, low reward, I think, if people do go through on the softs.
Well, I think you can do softs to hards.
You have to expect a safety car, I think, though.
But yeah, it's just
tyre wear on here is so high.
Those soft tyres can only really do about
6-7 laps.
Well, 3-4, and they just hit a cliff. I mean, I think we did see someone the other day do about 11 on them, but they were holding a lot of people up when they were using them. So it is possible. I mean, I can understand why you would want to if you don't have the pace to get through, but I think the better option is just to do another lap on those medium tyres.
We have seen some people put on some softs, but that could be old softs from the last session, just doing a banker lap.
Yeah, probably just to get that delta on. As Dylan is one of those people who's... Yeah,
I think they did that last week as well.
It's a weird kind of mental advantage that having that delta there kind of gives you. It's some people prefer it, some people like it. It is a nice feeling when you look in the top right corner and you can see that you're visibly like 2 or 3 attempts up on your time. And for me personally, I feel like it kind of helps me to maybe go a little bit faster and push that little bit more, knowing you've got that time there.
Yeah.
But then sometimes it works in...
I think for me it's the opposite.
Yeah, definitely.
It puts me off. I can't concentrate if I know that I'm only 1/10 when I need to be 4/10 up.
So Kamara Racer's just slapped on those medium tyres and he's just going to do his run on the mediums without getting that delta on, so he must be feeling pretty confident. I think he's probably one of the most experienced drivers of bronze. I believe Sean did send me a stat thing earlier on, and I think he's got about 23 appearances or something as a Kamara Racer. Sorry, 34 points, and yeah, 21. This will be his 22nd race start for Kamara Racer. So he's got a lot of races under his belt in bronze now. Yeah, so he's probably one of the more experienced drivers in bronze this season, along with the likes of Ginger Rage and Sammy as well. They're probably, like, ALR wise, I mean, they're probably the experienced heads.
Roscoe
of
as well,
league.
17 starts in ALR.
Yeah, Roscoe, he's always up there and consistent.
RDW as well, obviously he's going to be starting from the back.
As we're seeing Kamara Racer coming through the middle sector now. Doesn't seem to be pushing a hell of a lot. Yeah, he's just coming into third sector now. 54 dead coming into that third and final sector. So if we can do probably about maybe like a 1:15.5, 1:16 maybe around there. And that could be a good-ish time for the mediums, because the drop-off to the soft compound tyres is quite big. As he's going now through the last corner, opens up that DRS and he's now across the line. Yeah, he's done a 15.7, so yeah, that's probably... Sorry, as my controller just disconnected then. Yeah, so that's a 15.7 there from Kamara Racer. So that's a relatively comfortable time, that. As who else have we know?
Well, we saw a lot of worse than that on softs for some of the drivers.
That is a very
yellow
very
flag.
I think it was just for Dylan, yeah. So he is on a lap, but I think he is just doing that banker lap on an old set of softs just to get that delta there, because it was usually about like a 24-second first sector, and he's probably about 10 seconds off the pace.
We have got quite a few people out on the softs, but hopefully, I think it would be a mistake if they did get a time on them, unless it is just a banker. Yeah,
Shadows is there. He's not using any of his ZRS, so I'm guessing he's probably just doing a banker. Sammy's done a 15.7. It goes quicker than Kamara Racer by about 800ths of a second there from Sammy. So that's good in for Q2. If you can just get that edge over one driver, that one position could be the difference between.
Reflection's just gone even faster, 1:15.3.
That is on the soft tyres though, so whether or not he has got some time in there to put on those medium tyres, although it's going to be hard to know. So that might compromise him slightly for the race, as we have got a Red Bull now of... Oh no, sorry, not a Red Bull. Was that Shadows? It was AlphaTauri, 18.2.
That's just a banker.
Yeah, so he's got some time in that, so he can put on those medium tyres and do a lap. I don't think he did use any ERS on that lap, as we've got ALR Vintage now. He's invalidated, so I'm going to guess he's probably going to come into the pits. Maybe put on those medium tyres now. No, maybe just getting a bit of sight for the track, potentially. So we haven't really got anyone else on track on the minute, I don't think. Oh, sorry, as we've got Smithy Almighty, who's on the soft compound tyres as well, so he does seem to be pushing on this lap. He's coming through the last corner now, opening up that DRS. He's probably going to go, fast as a 14.8. That's a really good time there from Spiffy. Although, again, he's on the soft compound tyres, so probably going to be wanting to try something a bit different in the race, potentially.
Maybe they're thinking they won't have the pace to be in the top 10, so try to get as close as to 11th as they can.
Yeah, that could be a shout, but then...
If everyone else goes on mediums, then...
It's going to force the likes of Sammy, who's going for another
run. A lot
run.
of traffic through turn 2 and 3.
Yeah, as Cowie's got a point there, the softs delta between the mediums and the softs, sorry, is quite large around here. So even for the top faster people, if the people that struggle to get into Q3 do whack on those soft compound tyres and set a lap, it's quite uncomfortable for the drivers. I think in Gold on Sunday we saw like 5 drivers who you would usually think like Knowlesy and Gurman,
Yeah.
who got knocked out just because of the difference. There was a few people, I think 4 of us qualified on the medium compound tyres as...
Yeah, last time he's just gone wide.
Yeah, he's not invalidated there. Yeah, as 6 people decided, I think, to start on the soft tyres, and there was an early safety car, so it kind of nullified that a little bit, but...
Do you see Sammy improve his time?
He has done now 2 laps on those medium tyres, which is going to hinder him for the race as well, as he does go a tenth quicker, but it doesn't change any position.
It's surprising that he wouldn't do the another lap at the end.
Well, he's done 3 laps now on those medium tyres.
I don't think he would want to do any more if he's starting on them. So
as we've got a McLaren of Jamie now, he's coming around the last corner, he's 17 seconds down on his time, I think, yeah. So he's just going for another lap again, he's going for another run on his mediums, he's probably not very happy with that first time that he's done.
Oh, we got someone invalidated. Was that Booty Delight? No.
Was it...
I think it was the other Alpha Tauri.
I think they might have just jumped into the pits, yeah they have. Let's see what Booty Delight can do on these medium compound tyres now. He's coming through the last corner, again opens up that DRS, comes across the line, he does go P5, that's a really good time there from Booty Delight. He's only about, well, he's about a second off of Kamara Racer, so I'm sure he'll probably drop down the order a little bit more, unfortunately. So he might have to do another run on those medium tyres as he's sliding a bit there. Doesn't really want to do those if he does make it through to Q3, because those are the tyres that he will be starting on the race if he does make it through.
Just had a Williams start as well. Is that Ginger Age?
No, it's Dylan. So yeah, he's one of the ones that, yeah, we're looking to see.
He's definitely going to be one of the top runners, so I'm expecting to be high 15s. You might even see him on those mediums get nearer to the 14s. I think that might be a push, but he's one of the ones that could do it. Oh, is he just invalidated?
He is invalidated, so he will. If he's got the minimum amount of fuel on board, he will have enough fuel now to put everything back down and save for the rest of this lap and go for another flying lap without having to come down into the pits.
We've got Jamie just coming over and just trying to improve his lap.
Yeah, he's only gone just under a tenth quicker.
Yeah.
He didn't jump up any positions there, but obviously at the time, did improve slightly. As I think he might be in the low.
Booty Delight is going to come over the line in a minute.
He's 2.5 seconds down, so maybe he's going to be coming into the pits. No.
Okay, that's interesting.
I'm not sure why we'd complete this lap. He's just in a yeah, 2.6 seconds down there from Booty Delight. Yeah, so I've got Epel Leclerc on a outlap. And yeah, we saw him very right up there in Q1, so let's see what he could possibly do on those medium compound tyres. Let's see if he didn't just get quite lucky in Q1.
So it looks like maybe Crystal Maze just doing 1 lap at the end, he thinks he's quick enough to get through there. Which is, I think it's a bold strategy, because obviously that is when the tyres will be fastest. But if you invalidate, that's it. You have 1 shot.
Yeah, that's a very good point. As someone just oh yeah, Roscoe just jumped up to P5 now. Sorry, I just missed that one. Yeah, he's about 4 tenths off Kamara Racer there.
I think if everyone else still goes on the mediums, it's a good time.
I reckon you probably need to be doing about a 16, a low 15 maybe,
yeah,
to feel comfortable on those medium tyres to get through. Just because of the tyre advantage the soft tyres have delta-wise.
It's going to be interesting to see these people who are leaving it to the last second, because it's very easy to invalidate here. And yeah, I mean, I've done it before. I think in last season in Bronze, I left it to the end, confident I can make it through on the mediums, and invalidated. And unfortunately, obviously, started much lower than I probably could have. But that's the risk you take, I think. It's going to come over the line.
We'll see what he can do. He does a 15.5.
I think he'll be happy with that. Fastest of the medium runners.
Yeah, so he's going to be really comfortable with that. You'll probably see him retire into the pits of that potentially. As let's jump back on board with Leclerc now, as he's coming into the last couple of corners. Let's see if he can get. As he can get anywhere near Dylan's or Sammy's time potentially on those medium tyres.
I'm going to say a 15.4.
Yeah, he's opened up that DRS. It's going to be a 15.7, which is just below Sammy, which is really good for the racing points. 4 and 5 at the minute.
More people are coming over.
Flag. Is that just Jamie? No, Dylan. Sorry.
Might have just gone wide.
Just slowing down. I think he's in low fuel mode, so he's going to be trundling back to the pits now as we've got ALR Vintage there. He's just coming through sector 1.
I think we saw it last week actually. Sammy is very good at qualifying on those mediums.
I think he's just a relatively good qualifier. I mean, he even had his Vintage is just invalidated at the edge. The exit of turn 4 there, which he has again. He's got fuel on board to go for another lap as once he turns everything down. As Jamie has done 5 laps, I don't know whether if that is a glitch on the game or
I think he actually has done 5 laps.
So whether or not he's going to come in, whack on those soft compound tyres now.
Yeah.
He's probably not going to want to make it through to Q3.
Well, I'm also looking at people underneath. Obviously, Crystal Maze you expect to be right up there. Alibi, Ginger Age even looked good in the first qualifying, so I'm expecting them to go above, which would knock Jamie and Shadows out of that top 10 and 9th spot. So I think that Jamie might have to go on the softs to get through. Or, like I say, just try to get nearest that 11th position and start on the hards. Try the alternate strategy.
Ideally, I think you just want trap position.
It's Dylan, or Sammy, sorry, he's selected the softs, but I don't think he should go out on them.
No, I don't think Sammy will need to, unless other drivers. I mean, we're medium tyres, so unless they beat his time.
We've got a Mercedes, I think, coming near.
Oh, yeah, he's just about to start his lap. Is Theo there? So this is probably going to be, unless he validates this and he's got fuel on board to do another
run. Is that Crystal Maze coming nearer to the...
Yeah, that's Crystal Maze now, just coming into the final few corners now. So he's probably going to want at least, probably what, a 15.5 around there, probably to feel comfortable just now coming through the last corner.
Might see him do more than that, I think.
It does, yeah, 15.5, well, almost a 15.6. So he's just under half a tenth behind Dylan.
Look how quick that Sammy lap time is to be near those, the top qualifiers.
Yeah, definitely.
Very impressive.
Let's just see if he can do that now in Q3 if he can make it through. As we've got Ginger Rage now, he's coming into the final few corners. He's coming from the spoon corner. There's a couple of ways you can take that corner. You can either kind of veer off, or you can kind of hug it quite tight. And Ginger Rage decided to hug it quite tight. The same with the last corner now as he's coming through. Open up that DRS, comes across the line, and he does a 1:16.6. So he's probably got enough fuel again on board to go for a straight another flying lap now.
I don't think that's...
But P11, that's... Yeah, I mean, he will be on fresh tyres if he starts there, but it's not ideal for Ginger Rage. He probably wants to get inside that top 10 as Vintage has come into the pit, so I don't think he's going to have enough time now to set another lap. So that's going to be Vintage who hasn't set a lap yet. His teammate Theo's now coming across the line. Open up that DRS. He does a 1:16.1. He's right on the cusp now, P10. So yeah, unless again he's got enough fuel, I don't think he's got enough time.
Cryptic and his teammate possibly going to come out then.
Yeah,
I'm guessing we're still behind on time.
Cryptic has obviously left it again right to the last minute, as both Mercedes...
Reflection, Leclerc, Dylan and Sammy have retired, confident they can get through on those mediums.
They should be alright there, I think, but...
Smithy and Reflection still think that the softs is the best strategy, possibly, so I'd be interested to see what they can do on those softs.
But we've got Ginger Rage now, who's only just marginally up on his time. So if he gets a good third and final sector now, the back end doesn't look too comfy there. He could maybe just jump. He's going to have to get a hell of a last sector though to get to Theo's time.
We did see him. Yeah,
P11 from Ginger Rage. That's disappointing to not make it through to Q3.
He's just jumped his nephew though, which, taken out of context, is a bit odd. But yeah, so I think Ginger Rage obviously didn't have a very good qualifying last week. Managed to have an amazing race on and get driver of the day. So we might see that again possibly if he's starting on those. To be fair, I think Ginger Rage will start on the mediums no matter what, knowing him. I don't think he'll go for the alternate strategy and start on the hards, but you never know.
So I think the only person now that's done a set of time is Cryptic Alibi, and that's Beauty Delight. Yeah, he didn't improve on his time, so it's just Cryptic Alibi. He didn't clip the apex, so that actually came there. So it's going to be touch and go from Cryptic Alibi now.
Got a yellow flag ahead of him.
No, he's just gone back.
That was very close from invalidated.
He's got to do at least a 16.2. Well, 16.192 is what he needs to achieve to make it out of Q2 now. So can he do it? He's got the unlucky number 13 on the side of his car as he's coming into third and final sector.
Just clipping the apex down might have caused him lose a bit of time there.
Yeah, he's hugging that apex of the final corner now. So let's see what time Cryptic Alibi can do. I don't think it's going to be quick enough for Cryptic Alibi. Yeah, it's only P11, pushes Ginger Rage down to 12. Oh, that's really disappointing there from Cryptic Alibi. He was only
11th is a good place to start, though. I think on this track,
strategy-wise, yeah, but it's super hard to overtake round here. So if he does start on those hards and just go long,
if he's confident on starting on those hards and being quicker than the people behind him, then with safety cars and people crashing out, then I think Cryptic Alibi still should be looking to the lot point.
Sorry, Booty Delight is still out, but yeah, I think he's. Yeah, I don't think he's going to improve on his time now, but his Booty Delight.
No, he's run out of VRS and fuel.
Yeah, he's just coming across the line now. Yeah, he doesn't look too happy with that result either. As Jamie's put in the comments, Jamie, I'm P14. What tyre should I go on?
He's a bit too late for that, but
I think he's more meaning for the race, I believe.
Oh right.
Sorry, I'm just going to run through the order as we've had Cryptic Alibi there in P11 who got knocked out. Along with Ginger Rage in P12, Booty Delight in P13, Jamie in P14, and Vintage there in P15. And well, Jamie, I think personally, you put on those hard compound tyres, you go to as long as possible, or you put on those mediums and you stick onto the back of the DRS train because it is impossible to overtake round here. So if you stick with the people in front of you, and maybe try and undercut on them, that's probably your best bet for that. As we're just heading through to Q3 now, so everyone who did make it through will get a lovely fresh set of soft compound tyres given them to by the FIA, which will hopefully, if they haven't burned up enough.
This is where we'll see people properly push now.
Yeah, so. Well, yeah, hopefully I've got 2 flying runs now in this session, which we'll see, everything they've got, they'll probably take out all of that fuel, and push it right to the limits now in this Q3 session. Who's going to be brave enough to come and first out on track? I think it's going to be Dylan. Yes, so Kamara Racers the first out on track. I love the red helmet. It kind of really goes well with Alfa Romeo. Yeah, it looks really nice. That does. So who? Right, there's one in the comment section. Who do you reckon is going to get pole? I think it's got to be between Dylan, Leclerc, and Crystal Maze. I think those are your 3 favourites, and I reckon outside bet I'm going for ALR Sammy to get. Oh, Sammy's got 3 spare softs, so if he can get 3 runs in,
all on the new softs.
Yeah, so that could be really good there for Sammy if he can get 3 runs in, as everyone has obviously got the soft compound.
I still think Crystal Maze is. What was Crystal Maze starting on the softs? Is he? Or?
No, he made it through all the mediums, I believe.
So who was the 2 soft runners? I think it was.
I think it was Reflection and Smithy, and I think there might have been a few more. I'm just gonna go.
No, I think that is the only 2. But yeah, so we've got Kamara Racer just going to start his lap now. We've got a yellow flag in sector 3. I think that might be just someone slowing down though, not an incident. But yeah, so it's a difficult track. Most tracks you're in a DRS train, but round here, we're trying to judge people's braking points and easily go into the back of people. I had a safety car almost take me out last night, which was fun.
So yeah, the only people who did make it through are Smithy and Reflection. So if they can get relatively high up the grid, then they could be a bit of a menace for the medium runners because they'll probably have a flying start. It's a really long run down to turn 1. So if they get a good start and get on the inside there of anyone at the start of the race, then they could be a menace. They could hold people up because it's really hard to overtake around here. Even with the different tyre compound, it's really tough. So those 2 soft compound runners of
they're going to have to get away very quick and make that time gap.
Yeah, definitely.
To make it worthwhile.
Kamara Racer now is coming into the...
It's looked a very good lap, very clean, I think. So it's gone a bit wide there, I think, on the exit.
He's done he's come across the line at 1:14.3. That's a really good time.
That's a very good time.
Dylan now is going to be right behind him. Let's see what Dylan's got in his tank. He's opened up that DRS. Let's see where he can go. To the 14.6. That's 3 attempts behind us. Now Sammy comes across the line.
Shadows has done a 1:15.
Oh, sorry, Sammy just starting a lap. Shadows, 1:15, so he's 4 attempts off Dylan's time. as Leclerc has invalidated his first run,
Okay, he's pushing a bit too hard maybe, but still got time to do some
and
more runs.
Theo has as well. So they've got enough time to obviously do it. Reflection tunnel 15.4, as that was Jamie's prediction for pole. At the minute, he's about a second off pole position, so he's got to get another good lap in. As Smithy's next across the line, he's invalidated his time as well, so he'd have to go for another
We've got
run.
Crystal Maze coming through, I think.
Crystal Maze,
He's
yeah.
going to be one of the.
Oh, he had a bit of a sticky back end, not sticky, wayward back end there, as he's now opened up that DRS come across the line. Where can Crystal Maze put it? 15.352. That's really, really close there between the Alfa Romeo and the Ferrari car.
And I don't think he'll even be happy with that time. I think he's got more to give.
Well, to get it into the 13s, that'd be a really good time there from either of those two. As Roscoe's coming through the third sector now. So let's see if he can get that Ferrari car relatively close to Crystal Maze, which would give him a really, really strong position for both the Ferraris in the race. Strategically, if they are in a party together, working together, they could...
Who's that? Is that Sammy's
Sammy's just gone up to he's just gone up to P3 as Roscoe now comes across the line. Can he get anywhere near those times? Roscoe's P5, so that's only a tenth behind P3.
Very close times here, though.
Yeah, definitely. As Reflection's just coming into the pits now. As Leclerc there, he's on his lap after he just invalidated his first lap. So let's see if he can actually get a lap on the board and see where he can get that racing point car. Hopefully near to Sammy's, so that'd be really good for those two for the race.
Yeah, we might see...
I think he's just ran out of fuel as he's crossed the line now. He's only done a 15.2.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's going to be running low fuel mode for his... so he's going to have enough time for one more run as this...
Smithy Almighty seems to be a bit off the pace.
Theo now is just about to cross the line. That's an awesome shot there, I have to say. He's done a 14 seconds.
That's a good time, actually.
These times are actually really close, from all the way from P3 of Sammy all the way down to Shadows in P7. It's only about half a second, and then you've only got the likes of Leclerc, who's I think he's still got time on that, only 2 tenths behind. Reflection definitely has got a lot of time in there, and I think Smithy's probably got some time in that as well. So these times in Q3 are going to be really, really close. Yeah, as Kamara Racer decided to just come straight back out, and maybe he's going to try and do 3 runs, or maybe he's got 3 sets of soft compound tyres like Sammy. Same with Dylan, he's decided to just come straight back out. As Leclerc,
invalidated, but
he's still in low fuel mode. He's just trundling him back to the pits. He's got Smithy Alrighty behind him. He's probably coming into the pits as well. As who is that?
Some
just
traffic
behind
building up there, and
I think Theo could have been on the lap there, and he's
after all this.
One.
It's a tight circuit. You need to be mindful of other drivers. I think we've got a Williams coming through with all this traffic as well.
No, that's just Dylan on his out lap.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah, we haven't got anyone on our lap as it stands. Everyone's either on an out lap or just coming into the pits. So Kamara Racer is going to be the next to start his lap. So he's going to ride on board with him as he's now coming through he's coming along the straight now, just starting his lap. So yeah, I mean he's P1 at the minute, but he obviously wants to improve that tyre, maybe get another third run in, you would think, as he clips the grass a bit there. So that car looks relatively stable going through that.
I don't think many people would have had Kamara Racer up there, especially in pole.
Well, he did only finish 8th last week, but I think he did have a bit of a.
Yeah, I think
he didn't have the most cleanest race. I think he might have been involved in a few incidents.
And you might like more of the street circuits rather than just got a purple sector 1. So he's improved in sector 1.
Did you see how much was that by? Was it slightly or?
I don't know.
Yeah, so he's just coming through the middle sector now. So yeah, I think he might have enough time to possibly do a third and final run after this, but it is going to be very touch and go. I mean, it's quite risky, especially with track evolution. He's now down coming into the third and final. I think he's abandoned this lap, so he's probably going to want to come into the pits now. Probably put on another fresh set. Save these just for the race in case there is a late safety car, so he can whack on the softs. He's coming in, so Dylan's probably going to be behind him. I haven't seen if Dylan's up on his time or anything, but he's coming through the final corner now, as only 4 minutes left to go, so he's going to have to do a really quick in-lap now, as he's coming across the line now. He has a 14.5, which doesn't put him any... Well, he only takes it marginally up.
If he has a quick in-lap, he might be able to do another lap. We've got a yellow flag. I think that's just Shadows slowing down there.
Getting out the way of Dylan, thinking he's on a lap. But I think Shadows could be. He's not got the fuel either. I don't think.
We've got the next of the line is it's going to be Mercedes starting its time with Theo. So it's just that little break period and where people are going to be on their last laps in a couple minutes.
So that could be it for Dylan, I think. With only three and a bit minutes left.
I think we are a bit behind on time, so we might have enough time to get through.
But it is definitely going to be close.
Yeah.
I know it is a short lap round here, so he probably should have enough time, actually. I'll take that back.
I think at the minute, the people that will be a bit, I think, not happy with their results so far is Reflection, Leclerc. I think they definitely think they can go a lot quicker. I think they should be more in like the top 3, 4, even like maybe even higher. So I think we'll definitely see Leclerc go a lot faster.
Well, even with Roscoe, as he's just the Ferrari crew guided him out of the garage now. Roscoe I think has definitely got the pace to maybe even challenge for pole. I mean, he was really good last week, finishing P4. Obviously fourth in the championship because it was the first round. So that Ferrari team, they are looking really strong again this week. Same with the racing points, to be honest. I mean, Sammy up in P3 at the minute, as he's just coming into the pits now, so he's going to whack on his last set of softs and go for one final run as Reflection's just starting his lap. Same as Shadders, he's just coming through the first sector. Theo's a 10th up on his time, so that would put him ahead of Roscoe just on his first sector alone. So if he can get the second and third sector right, then he could obviously potentially improve a hell of a lot more. So maybe Theo's got some time in the bank. If he does get like about 2-3 attempts there, it could push him all the way up to P3 and knock Sammy down the order a little bit as he comes through. He's 2 attempts up, so if he gets his third sector right, I mean, this could be a really good lap from Theo. If he can get another 2 attempts out of it potentially. I know it is in his short third and final sector, but this could put him
That's a good exit through there.
Up into the top 3 from Theo's. He's coming through the final corner.
Good exit.
He's opened up that DRS. He does he must have lost the time a little bit, but that's it.
I think he'd definitely be happy with that. See, considering last race he didn't do very well.
As Kamara Racers and Crystal Maze, both just starting their laps. Kamara Racers backed out of his first run, so he's probably going to save his fuel and
We've
go
got
for another run.
Reflection's just gone quicker than Leclerc, 8th place. I don't think he'll have enough time to improve.
No, but hopefully he should have enough fuel, maybe?
I think he is slowed down maybe a bit.
I mean, like Sammy said earlier on in the comments.
He's still using his DRS, so I think he is on another time.
No, you can hear him short shifting, I think. Yeah, he's probably saving his fuel. I think if we have got that time desync, he's probably got enough time to go for another run.
Maybe, yeah.
Spiffy Almighty's 6.5 seconds down on his time.
Yellow flag, I think the Theo's just slowing down for people.
Yeah, I think he must be in low fuel mode. As Kamara Racer now, he's run out of ERS, so I think he's probably just starting. Yeah, he was starting.
Spiffy Almighty's come in the pits, so we're going to have the... Is that the Alfa Romeo Kamara Racer coming over the line?
No, Kamara Racer's just starting a lap, same with Roscoe and Dylan are all starting laps. Dylan did improve on his lap, only slightly marginally again though. So he's going to go for another run now. Has anyone just about to... Shadders is just coming through he's a 10th and a bit up, is Shadders. So that could be good for Shadders if he can improve a little bit more in his third final sector.
No, it doesn't seem to improve his time.
Crystal Maze has now gone quicker on a 13.9. That's 4 whole attempts quicker than Kamara Racer.
That's the first time we've been in the 13s. I'm not even sure if... You should make sure that's in.
Yeah.
Sorry for that again, but I'm not even sure if anyone in silver got into the 13s in Q3.
I couldn't say myself, but the 13s are really, really good times as Kamara Racer has retired. Did someone just... Yeah, I think someone must have just... I think Kamara Racer might have just retired on track there.
Oh no!
Is that Leclerc? No!
Kamara Racer just retired on track.
Leclerc is not going to be happy with that. That was it for Leclerc. He was probably up on his time. That was his third, as Reflection's now retired as well in the pits. Sammy's retired in the pits as well, I think, is it?
What was that Ferrari off track then?
I think that was just...
Was that Roscoe?
Yeah, it must just be Roscoe getting out the way, but that's really bad for Leclerc, that is. He's not going to be... Yeah, he's clearly really frustrated with that. Oh, he's now been disqualified from Q3. Oh, yeah, that's really, really unfortunate from Leclerc. I think that's pretty much cemented now that Kamara Racer does have pole position, as Dylan did cross the line. Sorry, I missed that. And yeah, he stayed P4, so it's a bit disappointing there from Dylan. He probably wanted to be up a bit closer to Crystal Maze there. Yeah, it's a bit of a...
It's a bit of a shame from Kamara, retiring on track there and
Yeah,
getting
I'm
in the
not
way.
really sure what he was doing, unfortunately. I mean, it could have been maybe like a Rosberg tactic, that. And like in Monaco with Hamilton. So yeah, that's qualifying over. So that's Crystal Maze again with a second pole position now. Yeah, the man's really quick in qualifying, I've got to say.
Yeah.
As Kamara Racer in P2, which unfortunately I think he did retire, which caused Leclerc to get disqualified from this. Well, he crashed into the back of Kamara Racer's
There's
ghost
nowhere I
car.
don't think he could have gone really. But
No,
we'll leave it to the incident report after. We'll let it. We'll focus on the race for now.
And it's unfortunate.
Sammy's in third. That's a hell of a lap time from him, managing to beat Dylan. We've got Shadders, Theo, Roscoe, Reflection, Smithy, and unfortunately Leclerc's going to have to be starting 10th. But yeah, that's some incredible lap times there. So kind of a shock moves with Camaro and Sammy. I know Sammy is good in qualifying, but it's, you don't get points in qualifying, you get it in the race. So we'll have to see how they do.
I personally think we should have points for qualifying. Personally,
I don't, because I never qualify well.
Not just saying that because I quite like qualifying, but well, they do it in F Formula 2. I think they get like four points for a pole position, and I think it just gives the drivers a bit of incentive to, well, master that one lap. As so just run through the order. We've got Crystal Maze on pole position, followed by Kamara Racer, Sammy in P3, Dylan in P4, Shadows in P5, Theo in P6, Roscoe in P7, Reflection in P8, Smithy Almighty in P9, and Leclerc, who got disqualified he went into the back of Kamara Racer, as I believe he did retire on track, and Leclerc, he was on a flying lap and just went into the back of Kamaro's car and obviously got quite frustrated with that, so did just retire. He stopped on track in the game, disqualified him for that, so it dropped him 2 positions, unfortunately. So he'll be starting P10, Leclerc. So he's having a lot of fighting to do in the race. Leclerc's he's definitely not got an easy 35 laps, I believe it is, around him. So it should be an interesting race. Dylan does have the race pace to match Crystal Maze, and I know Kamara Racer is good in the race, and Sammy's good to wheel as well, so it's going to be a really interesting race.
I'm just hoping we're not going to see at least an early safety car into turn 1.
Well, we do have the 2 soft runners there in P8 and P9, so they probably did want to be a bit further up, but that's going to be really bad for Leclerc. But although we could probably hopefully stick on the back of them and maybe let them push through the traffic.
I'm expecting especially Reflection to maybe get past Roscoe and Theo quite quickly, and then I think the people above maybe have the pace to keep it all going, because if you can just stay in front of those soft runners for, like you say, like maybe into like the 5th lap.
Oh, sorry, I think Leclerc has got a 5 players grid penalty as well
because of the disqualification.
No, I think because of the incident. I think he did obviously drive into the back of Kamara Racer's car, so I think that's going to be a 5 place grid penalty. That's what he's saying anyway, for the incident, which again, it's just not ideal. So
who was in 11th? Does that mean they start 10th now?
Yes, they will.
But will they have fresh?
No,
tires?
They'll still have to. They'll have fresh tyres. Yeah, the person will be starting P10.
So they'll be happy with that, to be honest.
So we have a migrating host. I'm not sure what's going on currently. Dylan's left the session. I don't know if that's something on our end.
So maybe... I know the PlayStation servers were a bit slow before the race. As everyone's leaving the session, I'm not sure if we're going to have a race restart here. So technical difficulties so far. Just waiting on to see if we were going to have to restart the race. Well, we haven't even started it yet, but...
Yeah, I think everyone's just saying that everyone's left, so it's going to be a glitch lobby, so we'll probably have a race restart, hopefully, if the servers will let us do it. So, just bear with us, and obviously I think the admins doesn't have to get the new session loaded. Race restart, everybody.
Maybe, so this obviously is going to be not actually the start of the race.
But we can use it to run through the running order. So we've got Crystal Maze there, who will start on pole position, followed by Kamara Racer and Sammy, with Dylan in P4, Shadows there in P5, Thea in P6. There's obviously a lot of drivers just retiring on track, obviously, because we do have that race restart. Thea there in P6, Roscoe in P7, Reflection in P8, Smithy in P9, Cryptic Alibi there in P10, Ginger Agent now in P11, Booty Delight in P12, Jamie in P13 as they're obviously having a bit of fun crashing into each other like bumper cars. Vintage there in P14, Leclerc in P15. I'm just going to join the session now as... sorry, just give me 1 second. So if everyone can remember to start on the tyres that they did go through into Q3 on if you did make it through. So that's Reflection and was it
Smithy or Mighty?
Yeah, Smithy or Mighty.
Start on the softs if they could.
Yeah, and then the other top 10 could start on mediums. That'd be perfect. As we're just going to rejoin the lobby now. So we just have a bit of a null at the minute as we get everything sorted again. This is going to be an advantage for the soft runners actually, because they will obviously be on fresh softs now. And same with the medium tyres. So the people that did do multiple runs on those mediums, or the people that did make it through on those soft tyres, they'll be licking their lips a little bit, because that soft to hard strategy is now, it's a lot more doable. Because, you can take about 10% out of those soft compound tyres on one run round here. Probably maybe even a bit more with your outlap and your inlap. Everyone will obviously have fresh tyres for the race. So that's, everyone's going to be loving that. We're just rejoining the lobby now.
Seems to be a bit slow today.
Yeah, at least we're back in. So obviously we're just going to get the grid and obviously everything put back together. Everything weather-wise was all dry. Everyone just needs to get back in and choose their cars ASAP. So I don't know if you wanted to run through a few facts maybe while we're just waiting here a little bit.
Some time. Obviously, this is this track. We had some loads of good races over the years, like Jensen Button's first victory here in 2006. Coming from 14th on the grid. Maybe we can see that again.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, unfortunately, I wasn't really... I was quite young at that point, so I've obviously watched it back on replays and everything, but Jensen Button's first one was definitely one of the ones to remember. I've seen it multiple times when he's obviously crossed that line. You could just see how happy he was. Obviously, he hadn't with us anymore, but he obviously had that famous pink shirt on every time. And, Button wore that amazing pink helmet. I remember, I think you might have been there with me one year at Silverstone when he was in the McLaren, obviously.
2008 or 9, maybe 10?
No, it was later on. It was about 2016.
Maybe.
I think potentially. He had a wonderful pink helmet in a tribute for his dad. Which
he always wore pink shirts, didn't he?
Yeah. Obviously, my personal Jensen Button favourite win was obviously Canada 2011. I remember it was probably the longest time I've ever sat, and I think it probably ended up being about 5 hours with red flag stoppages, which obviously we have the rule now in real life Formula 1 where there's a 4-hour limit.
Yeah.
Which I'm quite glad about, because it was probably the longest shift of racing I've ever had to sit through. I mean, it was really enjoyable because it was, Button had to pit, I think, 6 times with a drive-through penalty. He had wing damage. It was a hell of a drive from him. On that last lap, Vettel just made that slight mistake. It was all about Hungary. Now, obviously, Button's first ever win. Hamilton really likes Hungary. I think he's won probably about 6 times around. I think it's one of his favourite tracks he's won round. Obviously, he got his first win for Mercedes around Hungary with that car.
He's won eight round there. I think he shares. He shared the record with Michael Schumacher. Schumacher loves this track as well.
Yeah,
I think they both share 8 victories and they both share 7 pole positions around here. They both hold that record.
Well, I mean, those two are obviously the greatest of all time when it comes to stats in
the modern
Formula
era,
1.
at least.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
They both got 7 world championships. Hamilton's now on 96 wins, is it?
Yeah.
How many pole positions? In 92?
Something like that. Definitely in the 90s.
Yeah,
maybe with the Red Bull this season we might see him. I think most people would have said he would have got over 100 in both easily. this season, but we might not see that this season.
I think that's probably what he wants to aim for, to be honest. I think he does want to see...
Over 100 on...
Yeah, I think he wants to get that 8 World Championship, 100 wins, 100 poles, and we'll see him retire then, in my opinion. And then maybe we'll see Max jump ship, go to Mercedes with George, maybe.
But I think, with Red Bull are on the increase. If they do have a good year, then they can promise this for the next coming. Obviously, they're going to have, maybe a difficult couple years with the engine regulations, because basically this engine is meant to be like next year's and the year after engine. They're just running this year.
Well, the engine isn't necessarily a whole lot different. It's more the aerodynamic.
Yeah, but I don't think they will increase the power they've got. Like for the next couple of years, it will be the similar engine.
Well, they'll definitely bring upgrades.
Yeah, of course, but it's it's just the aero for next.
It's more the tyres. They're a lot heavier, and they're just not as soft in this season of real life Formula One. And I don't think the Mercedes. I don't think they've found how to switch that on. And I think give it 3 or 4 rounds, especially we've got the 3-week break now to Imola in 2 weeks now. It is this weekend.
Yeah. Obviously, I think as well. We've seen especially the teams with the high rake be more successful, and obviously Mercedes and Aston Martin now was Racing Point do the opposite, usually having a low rake.
Well, they didn't want to waste their tokens.
Yeah, I think that might have been a mistake, you never know, but maybe you can find that time somewhere else, you never know.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, they will develop that car over the course of the year. But yeah, well, back to...
Yeah, we're getting going again.
Back to ALR bronze.
Yes, I'm pretty sure it's been mentioned in the Discord chat, but if no one can start, just pick their setups and tyres. Don't press start yet, because other people might take more time than the rest. But yeah, so hopefully that Smithy Almighty and Reflection can start on the soft tyre if they're listening.
Yeah, you definitely want to make sure with those two and everyone else, make sure that you do obviously load your setups, and choose your right tyres that you did use before. I think that's what everyone's doing at the minute. They're just obviously loading into this session.
Hopefully no more connection issues. Hopefully our stream doesn't go down. It seems to be better than last week at least. So.
Well, yeah, at least it's not blurry this week. That's one thing we did have a bit of criticism about.
I did promise that it would be fixed, and so hopefully it is. So
yeah, obviously a couple of drivers now have pressed ready up. So we're going to get going in a few seconds now. Everyone will start their formation lap. So we'll be able to see if everyone has started on the right tyres.
Hopefully people haven't been cheeky, because they will get a slap on the wrist for next week.
Well, I think if you select the wrong tyres, it could even be a disqualification from this race. So let's see what tyres everyone is on.
Oh, Crystal Maze is starting on the softs.
No.
I think that might be a mistake.
Yeah, definitely. I don't think... Crystal Maze, unfortunately, there.
I don't know if he might not have had the time to set it up, maybe. Someone press ready. But at least Reflection and Smithy Almighty are starting the soft, what they said they would. Although obviously they qualified on.
I think sometimes the strategy options can be a little bit difficult on this game, so I'm guessing that is a mistake from Crystal Maze, because obviously...
Yeah, you wouldn't want to start on the softs.
No,
if anything, that would be a disadvantage to him. So
exactly. I mean, he now can...
I mean, if he is out in front, free air, maybe try to make him as long as he could. Maybe safety car, perfect time on the hards. Maybe you never know. But
well, let's hope
if we saw from last week, if anyone could do it, it should be Crystal Maze. So
let's just hope he did remember his setup, because I think his setup is going to be more important than tyres. So I'm going to run through the orders. We've got Crystal Maze on his second pole position in 2 rounds now, so he's a bit of a qualifying king in bronze this season so far. As we've got Kamara Racing there in second position. We had a bit of an incident with Leclerc, who's now down in P10. We've got Sammy there in P3.
Sammy's forgotten his setup apparently.
Oh, Sammy.
Yeah, that could be a problem with race restarts. You've got to remember to set up.
Yeah, so we've got Dylan there in P4, Shadows in P5, Theo in P6, Roscoe P7, Reflection P8, Smithy Almighty in P9, Leclerc in P10.
Which is where he should have finished.
Yeah, so I think...
I think is fair enough, but I don't know what will be done about that.
So maybe. Cryptic Alibi there in P11, Ginger Rage in P12, Booty Delight in P13, Jamie in P14. ALR Vintage, one of 2 drivers that only start on the hard compound tyres, so they're going to be going along to that race.
I'm surprised more people haven't chose to start on the hard.
Styles there in P16, Marvsky all the way down in P17, Sir Dave in P18, and Scooby being the other one who's starting on the hard tyres. And RDB's decided to start on the soft compound tyres as well, so he should be trying to get through that field relatively quickly. Yeah,
Just keep in mind that Sammy hasn't learned the setup. I'm sure some people else haven't as well. So yeah, might see a bit of differentiating in pace, especially around here. I mean, I don't know what the default setup will be.
5-6 wings.
Yes,
It's
anyway,
not great around here.
So here we go. We're gonna have lights out. Oh,
not just yet.
well,
As someone
what is the game doing?
Oh, I think that might have been someone lagging out.
Sorry, lights out, and here we go.
Crystal Maze had an awful start there. He's even on the soft tyres. He's all the way down in. Oh yeah, come on! Oh my!
Oh no!
Leclerc's had a horrendous crash there. Oh my god!
This has not been good for Leclerc.
Horrendous.
Surely that's a safety car.
I don't think it is. I don't know how, but yeah, we've got
Sammy's making up
even with that
Kamara.
default setup.
Oh no!
Yeah, he just doesn't have the front end there.
Ginger Rage made a position. Smithy Almighty.
So Crystal Maze has managed to keep that lead, and he's got those soft compound tyres on. So he's now even got he's got a 7/10 of a gap lead already, just at the end of sector 1. Kamara races
Booty Delight. What's happened to Booty Delight? He's losing positions. He's spun.
No, Booty Delight.
Has he got wing damage? Maybe.
I'm not quite sure what's happened to Booty there.
He's got wing damage. End plate. Oh, that's a shame.
That's the same as last week.
Styles as well, as he's losing positions.
Oh yeah, he did jump the
off.
start. I think his AI did jump the start there, so he's probably just giving the people the positions back potentially.
Yeah, maybe. Styles has got a 10-second penalty for that.
Oh
unfortunately.
no, that's not a good start.
Smithy Almighty's having a bit of a bad start, especially on those softs. Ginger Rage up to 9th.
So he's had an awesome start there, Ginger Rage, like he did last week.
Delight's just, I don't know if he's going to come into the pits. He should do with that wing damage.
So Crystal Maze obviously sets fastest lap. He's now got a 1.4 second advantage over Kamara Racer. Obviously, Kamara Racer is probably more on the optimal strategy. Sammy, even with that default setup, has managed to keep... past
Smithy Almighty. Smithy Almighty's having a mare of a start.
He's in the pits.
He must have got damaged at some point then.
No, I think he's just decided to come off of the soft compound tyres. I know. I can't quite see.
He always stuck in the pits.
No, he has got wing damage. He has. Same with RDW, unfortunately. So he's got rid of those soft tyres now as well. As Sammy just goes wide there, he's going to have a horrendous race now, especially with that default setup. He's still in P3 at the minute, but he's going to be quick down that straight.
Crystal Maze, even though he is on softs, has gained in a 2-second advantage at the minute.
If Crystal Maze can get about to a P...
Booty Delight's just got a 3-second time penalty.
If Crystal Maze can get to about lap 11 on those softs,
he's
goes really wide there, so he's probably going to get a warning for that. He can whack on those hard compound tyres.
Sammy 3 seconds, I think that's the setup.
Sammy is going to really struggle now. He's got 33 more laps of this.
Especially we've got Theo and Dylan coming right behind him.
He's going to be a bit of a menace to overtake down that straight with that low wing. So he's going to hold up a lot of drivers. So Kamara Racer and Crystal Maze could be in a little battle of themselves here. As Dylan's still in P5 at the minute. He's right on the back of Theo now.
Well, we've got a train. Oh, someone's gone wide. Is that Ginger Rage? No, that's Reflection's just gone wide, I think.
Yeah, he's now suffered, so Jamie's going to be coming down the inside of him, down into turn 1. No DRS yet.
Ginger Rage is going for driver of the day, I think.
So yeah, now Jamie's got that position on Reflection there, so Reflection is on those soft tyres, so he's going to be able to fight back that position. Marvsky's had a lot better start now. I think he start P17, I think he did.
Yeah,
so
he started very low.
Up to P11 already. Obviously a lot of cars did come into the pits. As yeah, those top two have got a massive gap, so
yeah,
they're just breezing ahead, those two. I mean, Sammy, unfortunately, with that default setup on.
I think we're going to see Dylan come around, Theo overtaking. To be fair, Sammy's doing okay for having no setup on to keep that little gap there.
Yeah, he's just going to be. Well, they're just going to really struggle to get past Sammy down that straight. Obviously, he does have that 3-second time.
Then we've got Dylan's coming very close to Theo at the minute.
So that dirty air through that middle sector is really horrible. So,
Dylan really wants to overtake Theo here.
What Theo or Dylan, the only chance really that they've got of getting past Sammy, if they can't get past him down that straight, is really that have to be an undercut.
Well, Sammy might lose time, obviously not having the setup in the middle sectors. But on the straight, he should have lower wings, so he will be quick on the straight.
Well, there really isn't anywhere to overtake in that middle sector.
No,
so
it's difficult.
That dirty air through them is going to be. See, even with the DRS, they're not really getting anywhere near Sammy. Dylan's.
I mean, turn 2, 3.
As Roscoe's just making a move there on Shadows, they make it. Well, they're bumping wheels.
Well, Jamie and Reflection battling it out.
Yeah, Reflection obviously on those soft compound tyres, but Roscoe there, obviously really fighting hard there with Shadows. Ginger Rage is right on the back of them.
She's getting really close to Dylan. We've got a massive train here.
Yeah, this train is behind Sammy, starting to form quite massively now.
If you follow, we've just got to see Roscoe going wide there. If you follow them through turn 4 in there, if you right behind them, you get the braking zone wrong. It's very hard to get right behind him. You can lose a lot of time.
Just a look at the comments. So yeah, that's a really good point from Liam there. So if no one can get past Sammy, then definitely they'll have to see some undercuts. But what lap are they done undercut? I think with the fresh mediums that you can easily. As Sammy's got another 3 seconds, but he's up to 6 seconds already. It's Sammy.
It is a track you do get a lot of penalties, but obviously it's not helping him with the setup.
No, I think it is more. Well, we've only got 4 penalties so far.
I think we will see Dylan make a move on Theo. Theo just gone wide there into the turn 14. It's a difficult corner to get right. You need to get a good exit to have a chance of overtaking it.
So yeah, strategy is going to be quite interesting.
Got overtake on Dylan.
Is he going to go around the outside now of Dylan?
Oh, we got Roscoe making the move.
Yeah, he's got the grip around the outside there. He's got that DRS open now down to turn 3.
Don't want to jinx it. We've got some clean racing here.
Is he going to go up the inside? Yeah, Dylan's got a bit wide there. Yeah, Shaddis is just sneaking up the inside of Dylan, and Dylan's fighting it back. He's on the outside now to turn 3. You don't want to be doing that.
You don't want to be going side by side through here.
As Dylan's kept the position, he's defended that. But he's got a 3 second, and Ginger Rage is now. Both of those have got a 3 second penalty. That's not a good first 5 laps now from both Williams.
I think you will see almost everyone get a 3 second penalty, but
that front end just washes through that turn 4, sorry, in the dirt. Yeah, you've got to have a really, really nice front end around here to not get those penalties, I think, especially in this dirty air. So yeah, now Crystal Maze has a 5 second advantage over Kamara Racer, who then has another 5 second advantage over Sammy. As we've got RD Wheat in the pits again now, down all the way in 19th position.
I think we're going to see another close turn 1 with this train.
Yeah, wow, that's like a 8-car train, that is. That's pretty much the whole field.
And Sammy's leading it. He's got that straight line speed. He's unfortunately got a lot of penalties though.
But it's just impossible to overtake down that main straight with this default setup on. I mean, Sammy's probably going to want to be the one to...
Oh, we got Roscoe maybe taking over Shadders here.
Yeah, he's diving down the inside. Shadders has got the outside now. He's gripped up. He's going to have the inside going into turn 2.
Oh, it's going to be good down there.
Shadders has kept that position on Roscoe, which is that's an amazing little battle there.
Oh, maybe we're not going to see a switchback.
Oh no, Roscoe's kept on the outside. He's now got the inside for the next corner, and they push him a little bit off track. Then this is not going to go very well. One of them's got to back out.
Who's got the bottle to go through?
Oh no! Shadders is. Oh, that's not.
Why you don't go through side by side.
One of them had to back out of that, and unfortunately,
Roscoe was further in front. Shadow should have backed out.
Oh, as Jamie spun it as well. Oh, he must have hit that little curb there. So that's not a great few corners there from the McLaren or the Alpha Tauri, of either of those two there. So yeah, that's unfortunate from the two of them. But yeah, posted it into the incident report after the race if you've got any issues with what went on in that one. So yeah, again, people just can't seem to get past Sammy.
Wide all the time.
He's got to be the first one to shoot when to come into the pits, because he's got all these cars behind him and they just can't overtake him. So I think we might see Sammy be the first one potentially to. He's just got to cover the undercut of the other drivers, but then the overcut could work for the others, because even on fresh tyres he is going to struggle to set a relatively good lap
maybe
time.
Go down the inside. No,
he's too quick in a straight line, unfortunately. I mean, well, fortunately for Sammy.
Ginger Rage is overtaking Roscoe.
Wow, that's a really good overtake there. There's a battling again now into turn 2. Is Roscoe? No, Roscoe's just let Ginger Rage have that position. So both Williams in P5 and P6. That's really good for those the Williams team there.
Are we going to see maybe some teamwork here? Maybe Dylan and Ginger Rage pass.
I'm not quite sure about that, because we are just in a bit of a train at the minute. So I think Dylan is just obviously don't want to try and get past.
Ginger Rage has got some serious race pace around here though.
Well, I think it's just more of a case. Well, he does have really good race to pace to stick up with this, but Sammy's just holding up this bunch of drivers now massively, and everyone's just really, really struggling. As Jamie, is right on the back of Vintage. We've got another kind of little fight going along here with these from Sir Dave's in Sir Dave's up into P10. That's a really good result from Sir Dave, because I think he was all the way down in about P18, P17 potentially. And he hasn't got a penalty yet, so yeah, he's kind of living in his own little bubble at the minute. He's out of the DRS.
Theo and Dylan having a little battle.
Oh wow, he must have got him into the little speed. So he's going around the outside, the last corner.
That slowed him down though. Ginger Age going to have the.
Yeah, Dylan made it through on Theo there, as He's going to try and get him back. Oh, wait, they kind of have a Schumacher Barrichello moment there.
You see Roscoe and Ginger Age going to overtake him. Oh, we got.
Yeah, Roscoe's all gone through on. I don't know where to look. We've got Theo and Dylan now going into turn 3, and Ginger Rage has unfortunately lost position. And Dylan's got him. Yeah, Dylan's got past and made that position stick on Theo. It's now Roscoe's right on the back of Theo now going up to the infamous turn 4.
Oh, we're going to side by side. Surely not Roscoe.
No, I think
side by side again.
No, I think he's gone wide a little bit there. He's probably got another warning now for that. Yeah, so obviously Dylan is now up into P4. He's right on the back of Sammy, so he's going to want to have to get past Sammy now. There's that gap now to wow, that's a massive gap. Shadows has got a 3-second penalty now. So that gap's now starting to decrease, so those soft compound tyres are starting to drop a little bit. So Kamara Race is starting to reel in Crystal Maze now. So Crystal Maze probably want to get another 3 laps. It's always struggling, Crystal Maze. Yeah, he's coming in. Crystal Maze is,
8 laps.
Yeah, all he can get out of those soft is about 8 laps. So he's
we have to do medium now?
No, he can whack on those hard compound tyres to go to the end now, but it's going to be very, very difficult. So Crystal Maze now is going to have the overcut, so 5 or 6 laps. So yeah, Kamara Racer has now taken the net lead of the race. But obviously Crystal Maze has made a pit stop onto those hard compound tyres now.
I think Crystal Maze might come out ahead. No, just...
Crystal Maze now needs to come out in a little... He needs to come out ahead of this battle.
He's going to be right behind the train.
No, he should just be in a little bubble ahead of them. So... It's kind of similar to what I did on Sunday. He's behind that second pack, and he should have a fair few laps now where he can close in on the medium runners ahead of him, and then hopefully by the time he catches up to him,
we're going to see Shadows overtake Jamie.
They should be boxing for their...
We're going to see it. Very close.
Sorry, I'm not going to...
11th, 12th.
Shadows has spun again. Shadows having a bit of a nightmare race, unfortunately.
You can reset to track, but he's decided to do a donut on track.
Yeah, I think those tyres they're going to be screaming at him.
I think if he's not careful in turn 4 here with that tyre wear, he might spin again.
Well, it's the carcass temperature, the internal carcass temperature. He's all right, so those tyres aren't going to be best for wear there. So he's just got to stick it out and maybe hope for a late safety car or something to get back into this race. Yeah, Crystal Maze he's got about a 5-second gap now to Marsky ahead of him, as he has got a 3-second penalty now. So let's just double check the penalty situation. So Kamara Racer is currently in net P1, who's yet to stop. He's got a 10-second lead over Dylan. Dylan has got 3 seconds. Sammy's got 9 seconds worth of penalties now. Has managed to get past Sammy now. So that's crucial for Dylan's race. And he needs to close in on Kamara Racer now. So he's going to want to try and get this P3. Well, obviously he does have that penalty, as Roscoe has made a move on Theo now.
Theo's losing time.
Yeah.
You think we might see Ginger Rage getting close to Theo?
Yeah, he is right on the back of Theo's Ginger Rage. Yeah, so he's not going to be able to make a move probably towards the end of the lap, so he's going to want to try and get through some of this traffic.
If Marsky can catch this train with no penalties, he's looking quite good at it.
Well, Reflection's looking quite comfortable. He's done 10 laps on those softs now. And he's just sitting on the back of the train, so he's just letting these guys drag him along to that pit stop window on these soft tyres, which is perfect for him, because those soft compound tyres aren't probably going to be ideal right now. Then they'll be screaming a little bit, as they're probably coming towards the end of their life. As you have got Marsky right on the back of him coming through the end of the second sector now.
Marsky did just go wide though. I think that might have been a warning.
Yeah, potentially, but
be careful. That might decide he could gain loads of positions if he just doesn't get a penalty.
Will we see Reflection come in on this lap? I think we might.
I think so. He's right in the pack.
Yeah, we have seen Reflection come in. He's going to put on those hard compound tyres and go to the end of the Grand Prix. We've got Stars who's just got another 3-second penalty there. Ginger Rage is right on the back of Theo now. He's going down the main straight. Ginger Rage has got past Theo going into turn 1. Can he make it stick though? As Theo's an attempt to go around the outside. Ginger Rage has kept the nice tidy entry, as Theo's got a really good exit now coming into turn 2.
But Ginger Rage does have the DRS. Edge it, I think.
Theo, Ginger Rage has made that move stick now, as Roscoe's got past. He's going around the outside of Sammy now.
I hope we don't see
3.
another Shadows Roscoe.
Sammy's got to back out of this one in my books, as he's still going around the outside. He's guys made the move off track there. So Roscoe's probably not going to be relatively happy about that. It's probably a similar move.
I think Sammy did keep the lead the whole time, so
yeah,
he would have got another warning or a penalty.
He did make the move. Well, he did complete the move off track. So obviously the game hasn't decided to give Sammy a penalty for that. So Roscoe probably just to be a bit frustrated that he couldn't have made that move stick there.
Roscoe's looking deadly this race. He's not taking any questions. Oh, he's just got another 3-second penalty.
Curse of the commentator, unfortunately, there. So yeah, he's right on the back of Sammy now. Sammy is really, really struggling on these tyres now. He still is in P3, but he's with that default
Ginger
setup.
Rage is getting very close to Roscoe here. We've seen a good battle between them.
Yeah, Sammy is just holding these drivers up really, really nicely.
Oh, I think we're going to see Ginger Rage get a good exit here.
I think we could see both drivers potentially make a move on Sammy here, although
Ginger Rage going to get into that slipstream maybe.
not a lot of them have much ERS, as Roscoe is making a move around the outside now of Sammy now. Is he going to do a switchback? Oh, he gets really close to the rear diffuser of that. Will we see? Yeah. Oh, no, Roscoe's still behind Sammy.
Side by side again.
He's just going to go around the outside. He's going to do another switchback now.
They're slowing
down the hill.
They're slowing each other down. Ginger Rage going to make a move here maybe and get both of them.
Sammy's keeping these drivers behind him, which is just not ideal for Roscoe. Ginger Rage, they're just... Dylan's now 3 seconds up the road. Kamara races 12 seconds up the road on Dylan. So I think Kamara could be in a really good position once he boxes.
Well, we've just seen Sir Dave get his first penalty.
Yeah, so Sammy is still in P3 now. Let's go back to Crystal Maze. He's now on the back of this pack, so he's going to start struggling in the dirty air a bit, which isn't ideal because the uppercut now of
yellow flag.
Styles has now retired from the race as he put it in the wall there just after turn 4. I think he might have done.
Yeah.
As we're going to stick on board with Cryptic Alibi to see the incident. I think he might have just went
Car
wide.
might have gone,
yeah, he's right in the middle of the track there. Unfortunately for Styles there, he's DNF'd from the race. That's not amazing.
Hopefully that doesn't cause a safety car, because we've got some brilliant battles on track right now.
So no safety car after that incident. As Crystal Mace is now right on the back of Marvsky. Oh, as Roscoe now is going to make a move on Sammy into turn 1. Again, he's on the outside, a lot more closer now.
Roscoe wants his moves done.
He's sticking it with the on the outside. Got that DRS open now, going into turn 2. I think he's made the move stick now. He's pushing Sammy on the outside, and Sammy he's wise to make that. Let Roscoe keep that position now.
Yeah, I think what we're seeing now is Sammy's, obviously all the medium runners are losing a bit more grip now and not having that extra downforce.
Oh, Sammy's right up the rear end of Roscoe there. He probably just give him a little kiss, love tap. He's going through turn 4 now.
Yeah, we're seeing him struggling now, I think. Not having tyre grip or downforce through this middle sector, he's going to be very slow.
So yeah, Ginger Rage is going to need to get past. Yeah, look, Roscoe's already almost got a second gap now. RDWee's got another 3-second time penalty. Yeah, so that just proves how much Sammy's holding up these drivers using that default setup. I mean, he's doing a hell of a job to fight for this position, but he's just costing these drivers so much time now. With
he could do the undercut and pit this lap.
He's gone wide again now. Yeah, lap 14. It's definitely the pit window open now. So put on those high compound tyres and go to
Booty Delight's got his first penalty. I think we need to see if there's no pit stop. Ginger Rage needs to take advantage of this and overtake now to gain that.
Yeah, I think he's definitely going to have the run.
Oh, we see Ginger Rage go wide into turn 14.
He's too far back, so I think if I was in Ginger Rage's position, I would think about
pit this lap.
Yeah, doing an undercut on Sammy. I think it's one of his best options. He's just struggling to get past him, and Roscoe's already gained almost about 2 seconds in just in under a lap.
Yeah, I think Ginger Rage is really struggling this dirty air from Sammy here.
As Crystal Maze has got past Marvsky there, which is he's going to be already on the back of Ginger Rage. He's already got a pit stop advantage of the likes of Ginger Rage, which. That's a hell of a job.
Sammy's another penalty. I think he's at 12.
Yeah, I think he's up to 12 seconds worth of penalties now, so Sammy needs to be really careful. There's still 21 laps to go in this race.
We've only got a few people who haven't got penalties yet, as in Kamara Racer, Marvsky, Jamie Wright, Vintage and Reflection. Could this maybe get some positions later on in the race? We never know. A safety car could decide a lot of positions later on.
Yeah, as we've got the other Renault driver in the comments in Silver of Troy, which he's obviously cheering on Marvsky, so once again, come on Team Renault.
Not biased at all.
Nope, not biased whatsoever. So we've got Marvsky in P7. Yeah, he hasn't got any penalties at the minute. He's obviously right on the back of this track.
Crystal Maze is catching Ginger Rage. Ginger Rage staying out as well as Sammy.
So yeah, Ginger Rage needs to make a move now. He is right on the back of Sammy. He's he's pretty much alongside him.
He's saved a bit of ERS as well.
If he gets in that slipstream, he can make a dive bomb move into turn 1. Yep, he's going to go around the outside. Sammy's obviously defending towards the inside. Now Sean's pushed the outside.
Oh, he's lost the back end there.
Oh, he's got the inside now for turn
DRS.
2. Crystal Maze is just sitting on the back of these two. Yes, Sean's
gone very wide through there.
Yeah, he's lost position to Crystal Maze, unfortunately.
Oh no, we see him tap the back of. Oh no.
they're both all right. I think they just had a bit of
I
wheel
think we're not
banging.
going to see him go through side by side here, are we?
I think Crystal Maze might be given the position back potentially. I'm not quite sure what's going on, but he was definitely slower. I don't think either of them have got any damage or anything.
Sammy's just got another penalty.
As the Galabai has got past Booty Delight as Sir Dave's come into the pits and put on those hard compound tyres and P17 has come out. Yeah, so
I think there's bottom runners. We'll be hoping for a.
I think Kamara Racer. Yeah, Kamara Racer's now boxing, so it'll be interesting to see where he comes out.
Smithy Almighty's got the 3 second.
Crystal
penalty.
Maze could. He's going to be close between these two, I think, because he's only just coming into the third final sector now.
I mean, I think Crystal Maze is going to be praying that Sammy pits this lap because he doesn't want to be sat behind him for too long.
So Crystal Maze.
Oh, he is. He's staying out. Will Ginger Age come into the pits?
Yeah, Ginger Age is coming into the pits. So Kamara Racer is just at the edge of the pit lane now, as Roscoe is now coming down the start finish lane. But Crystal Maze is the driver we really want to look at because, yeah, Kamara Racer's got out ahead of him, so the overcut has worked for Crystal Maze, for Kamara Racer, sorry. So the soft compound tyres obviously weren't great in that first stint. As Sammy's obviously trying to make a move on Crystal Maze as he just made for him. So Crystal Maze is on 6. Well, Kamara Racer has a 6-lap tyre advantage on Crystal Maze now.
Those hard tyres are definitely looking better than those mediums at the minute.
Yeah, definitely. But Kamara Racer's now in prime position for the race win. He can go to the end now.
Oh no!
The commentator again. He's clipped that curve as Crystal Maze has made it through.
Oh no!
Kamara Racer's now dropped all the way down to P6. So if he wants to get that P1 back, he's got a lot of fighting to do. He hasn't got any penalties, but unfortunately, he's
caught the curb. If you catch that even by an inch, it sends you spinning.
It's similar as the curb of death in Bahrain. If you clip it in just slightly, it unsettles the car and you lose all control. There's not really anything you can do. So that's really unlucky from Kamara Racer.
Kamara Racer was having a perfect race. Maybe the pressure, knowing that Crystal Maze is that quick behind him, got to him a little bit. Maybe I never get close to that curb just in case.
Well, there's still plenty more laps to go. We've got about another 20 laps to go. There's everyone else ahead of him. Theo's in the pits, Marcy's in the pits, Sammy's in the pits, and Roscoe's in the pits.
Will we see Ginger Age maybe jump him now? The undercut work.
Everyone's obviously going to be putting on those hard tyres now. As Dylan's obviously put a lap under before all of these lots, so he's going to come out probably in P3. Yeah. So that just proves again how much the likes of Sammy and Roscoe got held up by Sammy. As even Shadders Shadders hasn't pit yet, so Shadders is going to be
Ginger Age. Where will he come out of all this? Is he?
He has jumped Sammy, so that's vital for Ginger Age's race there.
Still got Shadders still out on the mediums. He's making it go even longer. Binch is still on those 16-lap-old hards.
So the gap to Crystal Maze. So yeah, after all the pit stop, Kamara Racer's really only lost that one position. From that little spin that he had, but he's now 5 seconds behind Crystal Maze, but he does have 7-lap fresher hard compound tyres.
With no penalties.
Yeah, with no penalties. So what is the penalty situation on?
The Galabai's just got his first penalty.
So if Kamara Racer can keep it clean for the rest, and he's only got to close in about 1.7 seconds with 20 laps to go, so he still is within a shout of the race win if he keeps it clean for the rest of the race.
Yeah, I think Crystal Maze is just going to have to use this stint on these softs at the minute, take all the advantage you can get, build up a gap, because those 8 laps could make the difference.
Well, as Ginger Rage is right on the back of Vintage now, Vintage is yet to stop. Ginger Rage is on fresh hard compound tyres, so there's a few cars ahead of him that are yet to make a pit stop. So he's going to want to either hope these cars pit relatively soon, but Vintage is on those hard compound tyres.
Yeah, Vintage going a bit wide there, I think. I think Ginger Age will get the move done.
Yeah,
he has early.
I think Vintage isn't really fighting it, which is quite a smart move there from Vintage. He's kind of in his own race now, as Shadders is just come into the pits. He's setting on those hard compound tyres and going to go to the end. Smithy Almighty's still out, hasn't made a pit stop yet, nor has Vintage, as Sammy is just getting past him again. So yeah, Vintage isn't too fussed about the cars that obviously they're going to be quicker than him. He's just letting them through relatively nicely, doing his own race.
Sir Dave's just overtaken Shadders, obviously coming out of the pits.
Yeah, so Sir Dave up to P16 as Scooby's got another 3-second penalty, unfortunately. As Jamie all the way down in P13, he's obviously on those fresh hard compound tyres. He hasn't got a penalty either, so he should come out ahead of Smithy.
I think if he gets close to that top 10, he might be looking for at least a point.
Yeah, definitely. I think both Renaults could be in for the points here. As Serious Mushroom in the comments has just put that curb is lethal. You're 100% right. Yeah, you do not want to get anywhere near that curb. Unfortunately, Kamara Racer did, and it did cost him, but it's definitely made it for a bit more interesting race now for us lot.
I'm not jinxing it, but we might see the first race this week, including Sunday, without a safety car.
Yeah, well, hopefully we
Yeah, I don't think we want to see a safety car. But at the minute, if Smithy or Mighty, even Vintage, get a safety car now, they'll be happy. Theo just left the session, unfortunately.
Theo isn't only in P11, so if someone could invite Theo back to the session,
Reflection's just overtaken Scooby. I think Scooby's just going to the pits, maybe?
So as it stands, Camaro isn't closing in on that gap too much. He's probably getting about 2 tenths on Crystal Maze at the minute. So the gap between...
Marvsky's just overtaken Vintage, sorry.
Smithy's dropping down the order. Yeah, Smithy's into the pits. As Jamie's now up to P12. Vintage is on the back of Marvsky. So the drivers are a little bit more spread out in the second stint after the round of pit stops. There doesn't seem to be a lot of fighting going on at the minute. It just seems to be more drivers closing in on each other. Yeah, Sammy now down to P8, so he has really struggled with that default setup, but he is still keeping it out there. I mean, he does have all those penalties. I think he's up to about 12 seconds. He does cuts that curve quite massively there. But yeah, he's still P8, and hopefully if he can... Oh, he is really struggling though through that middle sector. Yeah, credit to him for sticking it out and not giving up, as he's gone wide again there, Sammy has. So yeah, I think he's going to start to really struggle with this setup, unfortunately, but that is just one of those things you've got to make sure that you do have your setup on after a race restart, as Ginger Rage is going to want to hopefully close in on Scooby and get past him quite quickly, because Scooby's yet still to stop.
How long do those hards last, usually?
I think we saw Wilson go about 23, 24 laps on him last night.
Yeah.
Probably a bit longer, as Vintage is now in the pits, and he's done 18 laps on those tyres, so he's going to put on the medium tyres. He's not gone quite long enough to put on those
Ginger Rage's getting really close to Scooby now. He's going to want to make that move soon.
Yeah, hopefully,
doesn't want to have to sit behind him like he did for Sammy for so long.
Hopefully, end of this lap, he might be within that DRS, or Scooby might come into the pits. As Vintage is going to come out, I think, in about P16, as CO has joined back.
Scooby, if he pitted now, could go onto the mediums. They do last about 15 laps.
Yeah, I think he could be better off, because he pit's going to come outside the points anyway.
Yeah, I think it is better off maybe making these as long as you can, maybe hoping for a safety car.
Yeah, if he takes him about another 5 or 6 laps and then gets a safety car, obviously he'll be in that points then. Yeah, he'll be able to whack on those softs and easily go to the end. So yes, Mushroom's just pointed out that Mushroom's got 15 seconds worth of penalties for him.
Sammy's got 15, so...
Yeah, so I think that's going to drop Sammy well outside the points unless he can stop.
I think at the minute Sammy just tried to have a good end to the race, and yeah, sort of make it as a practice.
So let's have a look back at the tyre situation. So yeah. Yeah, so Crystal Maze is on 11 lap old hard tyres now, so Camaro race on 4 laps. So for Crystal Maze, those tyres might start to...
Did you see Ginger Rage overtake Scooby?
Oh, has he? Sorry.
He's managed to get the move done.
Yeah, he's made it into move into turn 1. I don't think Scooby probably would have fought that too hard.
Ginger Rage is looking good for, I think, driver of the day maybe? 6th position, starting... When did he start? 13?
I think he started P11.
We see Marsky overtake Sammy. Oh, no, they're battling it out.
So Marsky's going around the outside of Sammy. Wheel bagging a bit there, so Sammy's obviously let that... Well, he's fought that quite hard.
Don't go through side by side.
Not through turn 4. Oh, yeah, he's got on the grass there. Marvsky's got a 3-second time penalty now, unfortunately. So, yeah, Sammy's on that curb now. Obviously, didn't really spin it like a Camaro Racer did, but for some reason the deltas aren't showing up, which is a bit annoying, because we kind of need that to...
I think you might have changed it.
No, I think it's just because they haven't gone through this sector yet.
Should we just have like the gap in between, or the drivers?
Interval to the leaders.
Well, no, driver in front.
Oh yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah, okay.
So yeah,
Marsky's catching Scooby
now.
Well,
Camaro he's gained another couple attempts on him, but he's about a second away now from 3 seconds of Crystal Maze that he needs to get to that P1. So we need to start reeling them in. But those tyres of Crystal Maze are going to start dropping off slightly.
We are seeing Scooby like losing a lot of time now.
Yeah, I think he
might be mediums time.
Yeah, as Marvsky's right on the back of him, he might make a move into turn 1. Yeah, I don't think Scooby's going to fight it too hard. He's just kind of staying out there and hoping. But he's going back up the inside. He's done a nice little switchback moves there on Marvsky. He just doesn't have the tyre advantage, unfortunately.
We see some big gaps in between drivers now.
Yeah, everyone's relatively spread out throughout the field.
We are seeing Theo catching Jamie for maybe like to get the last point.
Yeah, Jamie doesn't have any penalties either, so Theo. Jamie could jump up a few positions, because we know Sammy's got a lot of penalties. Scooby's got a few as well, and Marvsky's just got that. I think it was his first one. Yeah, so
Oh, Theo's looking for a move there. I think a bad. Yeah, I think Jamie's losing a lot of pace here. I mean, they are on the same tyre, like same lap and everything. Reflection should get another 3 seconds. That's not good. Might be good
Sammy's
for
got
Ginger Age.
another 3-second penalty, so I think
Must
he
be
might
near
be
19.
I think maybe even 20 or 21 worth of seconds. He might be close to even getting disqualified, unfortunately, for Sammy. So, yeah, that's really unfortunate for him. Is Scooby then coming? Yeah, Scooby's just boxing now, so he's 12 laps to go. He could put on those soft compound tyres. It'd be a bit of a stretch.
I would still go mediums at this point.
That's going to be interesting to see what he does put on.
He's just got a 5-second time penalty. He didn't slow down enough.
That's not ideal there for Scooby. That's not what he wanted. But those tyres must be pretty dead if he's struggling to slow down coming into the pit lane.
That's a shame, though.
Crystal Maze has just got another 3-second penalty now, so Kamara Races right now win with it. As Scooby has decided to put those medium compound tyres on. As Theo is now going to try and make a move on Jamie into turn 2, but decides to make back out of it there. I like Theo's helmet there. It's a nice kind of
tribute to Vettel, maybe.
Yeah, it's quite nice, that is. As he's not going to make a move surely through turn 4, is he? No, he's just going to stick back off him. As so he's decided to stick on the back of him there. But yeah, so for the race win now.
I thought Dylan maybe would have caught. I tried to catch Kamara Racer. Kamara Racer's got some serious pace around here. Him and Dylan seem to be, about equal on pace, which is not good.
Yeah, it's just a shame that they did get.
Scooby's got another 3-second time penalty.
Stuck behind Sammy in that first stint, because I think we would have had a really close race between the top 3 if.
I'll tell you what, Vintage with no penalties on almost fresh mediums, maybe could get 10th.
He's got to cut through this field now relatively quickly. He's got ahead of the Red Bull and Scooby.
Yeah.
So he's got a lot of free air now. So whether or not he can catch up to the back of Smithy. Smithy is now obviously going to want to close in on Shadders, as he does have the tyre advantage on the mediums compared to the hards. As Theo has made a move now on Jamie into turn 1. So that's Theo now up into P9, but Jamie doesn't have any penalties, obviously. So if Theo's got the pace on Jamie might be better off just sticking behind Theo and just hoping Theo can pull him along, and maybe one of them can go for fastest lap potentially. I'm not quite sure who's got it at the minute. You'd probably presume one of the front runners, or probably Camaro potentially, as Jamie's just got a 3-second penalty. Oh no, that's not what Jamie wanted.
We've only seen Vintage and Kamara Racer without penalties now.
Crystal Mason's into the pit, so
what's he doing?
I think he might be putting on the soft compound tyres, but I think he could have easily gone to the end on those hard tyres. So he's pretty much given away the lead to Kamara Racer. So yeah, Kamara Racer's come into the pit. Yeah, he's putting on those soft tyres, but I think he's going to come out. I don't think he's going to be able to make
come out before Reflection.
Well, I mean, you're going to want to. Yeah, I think he's going to. Yeah, he's definitely going to get. Well, with 10 laps to go in this race,
bit interesting, maybe.
He's definitely throwing a ball there, a bit of a curve ball. He's definitely going to have the pace.
He definitely has the pace to catch, maybe, but
well, he's going to catch up to
5 laps
Roscoe.
To make that much time up is a lot.
Well,
with no penalties.
10 laps.
Oh, he doesn't have penalties, so he has 6 seconds, I think, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does. So obviously he's going to close up to Roscoe pretty quickly.
I don't understand why he's done that. I mean, I think maybe he's risking. This is the only way he can win the race.
Unless he hasn't got, unless he's not comfortable on his tyres.
Maybe. He might have more wear than we were aware of for some reason.
Yeah, potentially. But that's pushed Dylan now up into P2, so he'd be happy with a free position.
Yeah. Marvsky's catching Ginger AJ's.
Yeah, he's almost with that DRS now.
I think Marvsky has a lot of penalties.
Roscoe's got another 3-second penalty.
We check penalties, maybe?
Yeah. Penalty situation, so
Marvsky's still got 3 seconds on Ginger Age. Ginger Age is going to be under pressure
Roscoe
soon.
and Crystal Maze, though, both have 9 seconds, so maybe that's why Crystal Maze came in. He probably doesn't want to get that fastest lap point as well.
Maybe he was worried about Roscoe catching.
I think, Kamara Racer basically had P1 with the penalty situation.
Yeah.
So I think he might have even fallen behind Dylan potentially, but I think if he has got the pace,
Roscoe might be on for a podium there, I think.
Well, they both have 9 seconds.
9 seconds,
so I think Crystal Maze probably should.
Reflection? What tyres is Reflection on?
Reflection is on. So yeah, Crystal Maze now has the fastest lap of the Grand Prix. Reflection is on 14 lap old tyres, so Ginger Rage might start to close up on Reflection in these next few laps. There is a bit of a gap, but he does have a lot fresher tyres than Reflection. So it's just going to come down to raw race
change
pace.
to the gap in between, because I think we are seeing Marsky catch just within that second.
Yeah,
It's
he's
Ginger Age. Ginger Age
almost
needs to-
within that DRS now as he's
Ginger
coming
Age
up to
needs to put
turn
that hammer
4.
down with it. If Ginger Age gets another penalty, he's looking. It's still good, I think, because I think Ginger Age is going to be in that 6th, 7th position, especially because ALR Sammy's going to obviously be moved down with how much penalties he's got. So, who do you think's on driver of the day? I don't know who started where necessarily.
I think it could be Marvsky.
Reflection, where did he start?
He was in the
high.
top 10, I believe, because he did make it through on the soft tyres.
He started on
softs, but I think it could be Marvsky. I think he started about P17.
He did, yeah.
He's already up to P7, and he is obviously right on the back of Ginger Rage as it stands. He's just fallen out of that DRS again.
Even gone even faster.
So Marvsky hasn't quite got the pace to
Crystal
keep up
Mays
Ginger
going to
Mays.
take Roscoe in a minute, I think.
Yeah, hopefully teammates. I mean,
should let him
Roscoe
pass,
shouldn't fight this one too hard, but he's not going to make it easy for him, that's for sure.
Roscoe's
Roscoe's lagging a little bit, but hopefully they doesn't.
This is not a good place to catch your teammate or any car, to be honest.
Will he just let him through up into turn 4?
Yeah,
he's done the wise thing there, sporting move. So
they're going to go side by side. Oh no, Jesus!
No, Crystal Mays obviously is just breezed past Roscoe there up into P3. So he's got 7 laps now.
Good,
7 laps to close in on Dylan.
To gain like 6 seconds.
And Dylan does only have the 1 penalty, and Crystal Mays does have 9 seconds worth. So I think it probably was more of a situation of Dylan probably just didn't feel comfortable that those tyres could get to the end of the race, which I personally think they could have. But he's probably maybe just wanting that fastest lap as well. But those tyres are probably 3-4 laps. They'll probably.
Ginger Age is pushing a bit. He's gained another 2/10 on Marvsky.
Yeah, Marvsky again. I don't think he's got this. I think he might have a more of a slippery car than Ginger Age because
he's gaining on the straight.
Yeah, he seems.
By getting another 3 seconds.
Marvsky seems to lose that time in the middle sector and then start to gain it in the 3rd and 1st sector.
We haven't seen much of Cryptic Alibi. Obviously, getting a podium last week. He seemed to have maybe a bit of an unfortunate race, or just not liking this track.
P12. I think he might have had damage from the beginning. Yeah, it would have been from lap 4. He put on those hard tyres.
I don't know. I think Cryptic Alibi has got a few penalties, but
he's definitely going to have to box again.
I think Sammy at the minute of how many penalties.
Tomorrow Racer gets a 3-second penalty. So
everyone's got penalties apart from Vintage at the minute.
Yeah. So Kamara, he just doesn't look really comfortable through that corner. Unfortunately, does he?
I think Dylan's got 3 seconds as well.
Yep, Dylan does have 3 seconds.
So he will be licking his lips at the minute because there's no. Oh, we got Smithy on Cryptic Alibi.
Sorry.
As we were talking about him. Smithy Almighty's having a good race. Scooby, what's happened to Cryptic? Oh, he's in the pit.
I didn't think those hard tyres would be able to make it to the end.
Can he get quick lap time just to upset Crystal Mays, getting that?
Yeah, he's
take that point away from him.
Yeah, I think if he has got the pace, he's definitely going to take away that 1 point from Crystal Mays. So Crystal Mays is now 3.5 seconds behind Dylan. Now, to be fair, we have seen a relatively clean race again, like last week.
Yeah,
the racing has been really good. We've just had that few incidents in turn 4.
Yeah.
With
and turn 1, whatever happened with.
At the start with Leclerc. As Troy just put out a good point that Crystal Mays probably threw away quite a few crucial points because he's got more penalties than Dylan, and I think those tyres could have made it to the end. So even if he does get past Dylan within a couple laps, he's going to struggle to get that 6 seconds ahead of him that he needs.
Maybe he just doesn't want to be overtaken, he'd just rather be on the front foot.
Yeah, but again...
maybe he knows something we don't. Maybe he backs himself to have the pace to catch and overtake. We have still got quite a few laps left.
Only 6 laps though, with 3 seconds left. He has got more penalties than Dylan.
But
Dylan's only got one.
I mean, 3 laps, they will be like not being as quick as they were.
Yeah, they definitely would have passed their peak now, those soft tyres.
But he is catching Dylan.
Yeah, he is definitely catching him, obviously, but
he's still going to have to make up that extra time.
Yeah, so
I think he is. Maybe he thought Dylan was going to catch him, but then I'm not sure really. But yeah, I think he might have thrown away second position here for third.
I think if it wasn't for the penalty situation, I think he definitely has the pace to catch up to Dylan and overtake him. But it's just a penalty situation, unfortunately, that I think he would have been better off just staying on those hard tyres and just going to the end, because he would have dropped down past behind Kamara Racer. But Kamara Racer does have a penalty now, so yeah, he could have potentially maybe got another one and then kept that 3 second gap. But I mean, hindsight's a wonderful thing. Obviously, at the end of the race, he's done probably maybe be kicking himself a little bit that he didn't stay out. But obviously, he was maybe didn't really know what was going on. Maybe he's not got the stream on or something. And Shadows now is right on the back of Jamie, and Jamie's right on the back of Theo. And Sammy's still there in P8, so even with this default setup, I mean, if he didn't have these penalties, Sammy would be having a really, really good race. I mean, he did start P3. Oh, he's gone really wide there. He's just struggling. He's just racing for fun at this point, I think. Obviously, he's got so many penalties. He's then, unfortunately, going to drop out the points. But Ginger Rage there is...
He's still keeping that gap on Marsky. Marsky is... I think he is trying to push. But if one of them gets a penalty, that can decide it for them, I think.
Yeah, definitely.
Got Jamie catching Theo here.
Cryptic Alibi set the fastest lap of the Grand Prix, so that's taking that point away from Crystal Maze.
I don't know what's going on with this connection.
A bit of ghost car
We're not going to see him go side by side, surely.
I don't know. It doesn't. Oh, I think we might do. Oh, yeah. As Jamie's made the position on Shadows there, keeping that P10. As Theo's now just managed to get away a little bit from these two, so he's going to be quite happy with that they've started to fight a little bit. He's got a little bit of breathing room now. As Marsky again is closing again on a little bit on Ginger Rage, but Ginger Rage doesn't have the ERS that Marsky does, so maybe Marsky is
he's saving a bit.
Yeah, he's got 75%, so he's probably just waiting for the last couple of laps. He's done
we got Crystal Maze has made the move on Dylan.
Oh wow. So yeah, Crystal Maze.
Oh no!
Dylan's made. Oh no!
Oh, he's got wing damage there.
Has he?
Yeah, he's got end plate.
Oh no!
He should have reset his track there, but Roscoe will be licking his lips at this.
Has he got wing damage?
I think he's got end plate damage right on the left there.
I can't quite see from this point
It might not make. Oh yeah, he's just gone wide there. I think he has. Roscoe's catching. Is that Roscoe behind? It says he's 6 seconds behind, but I think that's Roscoe right there.
Yeah, he does have wing damage, so Roscoe's right on the back of him now. That's really unlucky for Dylan. I mean, if he
Roscoe has got 9 seconds though, isn't he?
He's going to be better off just staying out, I think. I mean, Ginger Rage has got another 3 second penalty.
Overtake him there, but...
So also moved there from Roscoe. He's going to try and go around the outside. He's going to want to be a bit more patient.
A bit all over the place here.
As Dylan's, I think Dylan's really frustrated with that move.
I think he's lost the podium from that.
Yeah, definitely, he's lost P3.
Will we see him pit? I think he just stay out.
I think he'd be better off, but he's got 8 second gap with 3 laps to go.
I would stay out.
He is going to come into the pit, so that's really unlucky there for Dylan again. He did get P2 last week, but
I think Ginger Rage talking on him. Sorry, he's going to have to hope that Marsky gets a penalty. If I was Marsky now, I'd sit back, relax a little bit, stay in that window.
Yeah, he's still not using much of that ERS yet, but Ginger Rage is getting quite lucky with the ghost car of RDW. That he's kind of pulling him along a bit, and he's got that DRS. So maybe that's why Marsky's probably struggling to stick with him. As Marsky obviously gets past Dylan, he's put on the soft compound tyres all the way down to P7, P8 now.
He will jump ahead.
He will get fastest lap potentially down to P9. So that's really, really unlucky. As he's his Shadows now is on the inside. As Shadows just backed out of that one, and he's probably a bit smart to do that considering he's on fresh soft tyres with 3 laps to go. So Dylan's going to want to try and get through these cars relatively quickly, just to hopefully gain on a few. Is that a Ferrari? A Ferrari? Oh, Crystal Maze has put it into the wall! Oh my goodness me! He's put it in the wall with 3 laps to go. So wow, that's going to put Reflection up into P3.
What's happened there? Surely those 6-lap-old softs don't have that little grip.
Well, I think he must have just lost the rear out coming out of that corner, but it was halfway down the straight.
Oh no, he's going wide there as well. He's going to have to pit.
Yeah, he's literally got no front wing.
Reflection's going to get the podium.
Wow, that's 20 laps on those hard compound tyres. So as long as he doesn't get a penalty, puncture within these last few laps, I mean, yeah, Reflection was that's a hell of a drive there from him. I think he was at P9. I think on those.
I think Dylan's going to be kicking himself.
Yeah, that would have been
second position for him.
Well, he was in second anyway, but. The Ginger Rage is up to 4th position now. Jamie's left the session.
Oh no.
Oh, Jamie, if someone can get him an invite
close to the points really
quickly.
What's Ginger Rage is? Well, Marvsky I think is going to get him unless he gets a penalty.
Yeah, he is within that DRS now. But again, Ginger Rage does have. He did have that DRS, the lap car of RDW.
I mean, my driver of the day so far it has to be Choir Racer really, but Marvsky and Ginger Rage coming from outside the top 10. Session. But yeah, Mask and Ginger Rage outside the top 10.
Crystal Maze all the way down to P14.
It's an incredible drive.
There's a Cryptic Alibi now up to P12, and Smithy Almighty's up into P11. Jamie's still inside the points, so as long as he can take control of that car quite quickly, he can be able to keep that P10, I think. RDW gets another 3-second penalty. Sammy's up to P6. It's just a shame he's got all those penalties that he could have still got a really decent result today.
I think you just got to take the positives out of the race. He knows he has the pace, even without a setup. So
yeah,
look to next week and.
As I'm just look at so Marsky up 12 positions from this.
12.
So I think he could be on for driver of the day. I think as Crystal Maze gets another 3-second penalty. He's clearly visibly frustrated with.
This is not good for the joint constructors. Renault getting good points.
I know Marsky obviously in pit. Who's that? Is that a Racing Point going slowly, or was that just Sammy just making a bit of a mistake? I'm not quite sure what.
Well, yeah.
Wow, Dylan's already on the back of Sammy now. He's don't have that move pretty much done before the DRS. Yeah, even before the straight's over. Sammy clearly has a really slippery car with that DRS though, so he didn't make it easy.
Pushing him wide.
He's got the grip as Dylan on Sammy going around the outside. That's a really, really nice move there. So Marsky is again falling out of that DRS of Ginger Rage now, as Kamara Racer still has the lead. As Radi Wee comes into the pits again, so he's going to steal that fastest lap again, you'd think, hopefully. Roscoe down there now in P2. Reflection all the way down now in second position. Ginger Rage, as Dylan gets another penalty, so Dylan is just having a bit of a scrappy end to the race, unfortunately. So a bit of a... As we were now moved on to the 35th and final lap of the Grand Prix.
Already the end of the race. It's gone so fast.
Yeah, we've had a really, really good race today. Obviously, there's a few incidents here and there, but overall, the racing's been really, really great. I mean, Kamara Racer he's just done his strategy. He had that small mistake at the start of his first stint. He obviously clipped the apex, the curve of one of the next corner that he's coming up to now. He kind of controlled the race quite nicely. Just done his strategy, stayed out of trouble. I think it's a really impressive race from
as it stands, without anything going. Oh no, got a yellow flag. Is that Roscoe?
I think it.
No, who is it?
It's just going to be Crystal Maze or Scooby, I think.
Well, yeah. Sorry, as it stands, we've got a whole different podium this week. Obviously, it looked like Crystal Maze and I Dylan were going to be there, but Roscoe finishing fourth finally gets that podium. But as we're coming around to the final corner, we're seeing Kamara Racer just make that last corner. Yeah,
he's just coming through the last corner now. He's going to cross the line and he's going to win the Hungarian Grand Prix. Wow. As Roscoe is going to come through in second position, I think, depending on penalties, but he has got an 11-second gap to Reflection.
He's kept it clean, and he's just...
Yeah, Roscoe, I think he's going to be taking the lead of the World Championship as well as Roscoe.
Yeah, I think so.
With P4 last week and P2 this week, that's really consistent there from the Ferrari driver. Reflection with an epic drive, 23 laps on those hard compound tyres, to come through in P3. So let's sit and wait to see what the penalty situation is. Ginger Rage crosses the line in P4.
He should jump him.
Marsky up into P4, Ginger Rage finishes in P5 with Dylan there in P6. As Sammy crosses the line, I think he's going to drop down a fair few positions, but really good stuff there from Sammy to finish the race, even with that default setup. As Shadders finishes in P7, Theo there in P8, Jamie finishes in P9, Sammy... Crystal Maze. Oh, Sammy did finish in the points. So, fair play to Sammy. He did stick it out. He had all of those penalties to still get a point. So that just shows that never give up. Crystal Maze, unfortunately, obviously with that last little incident there, P11. Cryptic Alibi in P12. That's not. He's not really going to be too happy with that, considering he was third last week out. 13th from Smithy Almighty. Scooby in 14th. Dave in P13. But Kamara Racer. The Grand Prix winner of the round 2 of season 3 of bronze here. That's a really good drive. That
and driver of the day, Marsky, fully deserved.
Definitely,
just kept it clean. Only getting one penalty helped him out in the race. But
we see a little fist bump there from Kamara Race. He's going to be really happy with that. Let's see him lift the trophy there in the Alfa Romeo boys with all Ferrari powered car podium, which is quite nice. I wonder if we're going to get any... we're
going to see if we can get them in for get them in the party to talk.
So hopefully we can get the podium sitters in here with us. We can ask them a few questions. So that's Kamara Racer in P1 with his first win of bronze this season. Roscoe in P2. Reflection there in P3, Marsky in P4 with an awesome drive from P17, Ginger Rage in P5 from P12, that's a great drive from him as well. Dylan there in P6 of unfortunate last few laps getting some damage. Still finishing P6, so a good haul of points there from him. Shadows in P7, Theo there in P8, Jamie in P9, Sammy even with the default setup after the race restart finishing in a really nice P10, even with 18 seconds worth of penalties. And Crystal Maze in P11. As we had Smithy Almighty there in P13, Scooby in 14th, Dave in 15th, 16th we had Booty Delight, 17th we had Vintage, RDB in 18th, and then our two DNFs were Styles and Leclerc.
Now we're just going to wait to see if the top three want to join the party and talk after.
So
just give them a little bit of time to join.
Give them a little bit of a time to see if they do want to join us.
But that was an incredible race, some really clean racing.
I mean, I don't blame them if they don't want to talk to us, because they probably sat here and listened to us for long enough. So that was a really nice race there. It's a great recovery drive, as young Tommy just put in the comments from Cryptic Alibi. Have we got any in the party with us?
Not yet.
Is it just us?
It's just us at the minute, but we'll see if anyone's going to join. We'll give it a few more minutes.
So if any of the podium sitters are listening into the stream, you should have received an invite to the podium to see if you want to come and talk to us about how your race went.
But yeah, that was a really fun race to watch, to be fair. No safety car. Gold and silver both had a safety car.
Multiple.
I think Jamie before in the comments said that he didn't think there was going to be. I thought there was going to be. Usually you get one round Hungary.
Yeah, I was kind of laughing at that comment a little bit, because you always get them around.
Yeah, I was like, surely there's going to be. But no, I mean, there was maybe a couple of instances that could have caused one, but, turned out it didn't happen. But, an absolutely incredible race. But, it doesn't look like we're going to see anyone join the party for the...
second week in a row, unfortunately.
Well, no, we had... I joined the party last week, but... That's been the Season 3 ALR Bronze Round 2 Hungary race. Another brilliant race. But we've got COBALT tomorrow, sorry. And what track we've got next week?
Well, we've got Belgium next week. Which
Belgium.
Is a completely different track to this one. There's a lot more room for overtaking, that's for sure. And maybe we'll see some rain in there. And so...
Yeah, it could be different with some track.
Definitely. So thanks for everyone for watching. That was a really great race today. So
we'll see you tomorrow for ALR COBALT and next week in Belgium. That's it from us, and goodbye.